Kia ora te whānau. Welcome along to Rodney Green Arenas for round 5 Rapid League. Hawke's Bay Hawks hosting the Otago Nuggets on your Saturday afternoon. Nothing quite like Saturday afternoon hoops. Already had the Fi and the Rams go at it. And earlier today, the Rams got a big win in the Sal's NBL. And for this one, Andrew Mulligan, Tom Ingham on hand. And Tom, you've played Rapid League. How fun is it?
Yeah, Miles, I think that's the best way to describe it. A whole lot of fun. And for these young guys, it's a great opportunity to show, what they're made of. And it's their chance to inject themselves into that NBL game too, getting their legs underneath them early.
Yeah, this will be a good matchup. You can see there the total on the 5-0 heading into today. And the Nuggets there, nestled right behind them. Always a strong team, the Nuggets in Rapid League at 4-1. They've got the Tuatara and the Saints behind them by virtue of points percentage. Every point matters in Rapid League for the Sal's NBL as well. So every game has something riding for the Sal's NBL game, because those points percentage, Tom, as you know, can decide playoff spots coming into the regular season finale for Sal's NBL. Hawke's Bay Hawks 2-3, looking to improve their standings and looking to help the 0-5 Sal's NBL team for this one. And here are your starting fives for the visitors. The Nuggets starting five: Tyson Tatapaese, you got Oak Chisholm, Harry Bizet, Christian Martin, and Toby Hunt. A good local crew there, punctuated by Tyson Tatapaese from Wellington, who's made the move south. For your starting five for the Hawks, you got Balon Casson, Ezra Eagle, Jacob Murphy, Kobe Carter, and Tommy Ferguson as well. And a lot of familiarity about both fives for these two coaches.
Yeah, 100%. And I think with this Otago Nuggets team in particular, they're playing such a great brand of team basketball. As you see right there, 43 points per game in Rapid League and only allowing 32. But that field goal percentage from the Hawke's Bay Hawks, you also see that in the NBL game. They look to attack the paint, get downhill, and that matchup I'm looking forward to there, that Jacob Murphy and Tyson Tatapaese. So be a good showdown between these two teams today, Miles.
No slippery eel for the Nuggets. Matt Bardsley's out again. And he missed the matchup against the Rams on Sunday. The Nuggets in the Sal's NBL taking their first loss of the season. And your referees, Megan Ashley, Hayden Pipe, and Sam McFadzean. And the Art Deco, I think, as you duly noted in our first game together, Tom Ingham, on the uniforms for the Hawke's Bay Hawks. Nice feature, and the classic yellow for the Nuggets.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I mean, it's a great opportunity in this Rapid League to be able to showcase in terms of your local community and get designs according to that. So, Hawke's Bay have really gone out on that. And you see the Dunedin font, the famous Dunedin font, which you'll see down in Scarpy Land. It's all happening. So both teams looking good, ready to go.
So Rapid League, if this is your first time watching, 4 4-minute quarters, no coach timeouts. Each team has available a BNZ player timeout per half. Can't carry them over. Shot clock's the same. Team fouls just 3 per quarter before they're in the bonus. And they go early. And inside, that's a nice finish and play for Tommy Ferguson.
And that's what Hawke's Bay try to do a lot of, try to get into the paint early doors. And Tommy Ferguson was a starter for this Hawke's Bay Hawks team in the NBL. Straight into the paint, 2 points.
9.6 rebounds in Rapid League for him. And then a 3-ball to start us for the Nuggets.
Yeah, through Christian Martin, he is an incredible player. And his 3-on-3 circuit activity was incredible. So to see him come out in the Rapid League straight away and get going is a great sign for this Otago Nuggets team. It's
Christian Martin, Asia Cup winner.
Yes.
You have to refer to him as well, 3x3.
Absolutely. Sorry for the disrespect, Christian.
Yes, Tatapaese has it ripped away and then gets tangled up. And it's good defense by the Hawks, Balon Casson. And for your Hawke's Bay Hawks as well, 0-5 in the Sal's NBL league, and the energy that these guys can come off the bench, Rapid League, it gives them a good warm-up. So important.
Yeah, it is really important. The Hawke's Bay, now they've got their extra import back in the mix, who we'll see later on. It's really important these guys are willing to come in and make contributions, as you see right there, trying to go straight back inside off that pick and roll.
Yeah, nice work. Combination between Jacob Murphy and Tommy Ferguson. It's that familiarity, played together for quite a few seasons now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a big thing for this Hawke's Bay team, you see straight away, they've tried to get Ferguson with 2 early post catches and then going into pick and roll, trying to get him downhill. This Otago Nuggets team, just a wee bit smaller at the moment, so looking to isolate Ferguson and try to get him going early.
Just shooting 50% from the Chemist Warehouse stripe, so this in the first is Ferguson.
Yeah, it's something for both of these teams, and you'll see when the NBL game too, the free throw percentages are a wee bit down, so you know that's something they'll both be looking to tidy up.
Especially for the Nuggets, shooting just 56% in the Sal's NBL. The gamble by Murphy. The player said, kicks it out. Another 3 on the way. May have got a piece of it. Murphy with a long shot. What a pass! Oh my goodness! Kobe Carter, the recipient.
Absolute seed there from Jacob Murphy, and a wee bit fortuitous with the deflection, but regardless, Kobe Carter getting the easy bucket.
3 ballers off. Kobe Carter, I'm going to call him a tight end. I mean, that was, yeah, a little bit of luck, but also just nice hands all round.
Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah, I'll go
reception.
That one. Ferguson is fouled.
And great job there again from Ferguson. Straight away, looking to get back into the paint. And if I'm Hawke's Bay, I'm continuing to try barrel it down there, put pressure on the Otago Nuggets, make them show bodies, and then that can start freeing up some outside shooting for them.
Well, that's the 3rd team foul. And so Ferguson will head to the line as both teams take advantage of the first free throw, not lining up. And that is the feature. There's no coach timeouts, as I mentioned, so taking the opportunity just to collect their thoughts and just describe how it's looking at already 2 minutes into this game.
Yeah, absolutely, Miles. And it's also really important in terms of development. You're kind of taking on that ownership in terms of yourselves within that game. And then when it comes to that BNZ player timeout, which we'll no doubt see very soon, it's always nice to see the creativity these guys can come up with.
Ferguson with 4 points now, making the second.
Hawke's Bay looking like they're patrolling a wee bit of a zone right now, kind of daring the Otago Nuggets to shoot a wee bit, but Toby Hunt might have something to say about that.
Knocks down the straight-on 3.
Now, I like Toby Hunt's game, fresh out of Shirley Boys High, MVP last year, the secondary school national champs, and man, he's had a great start to Rapid League.
Had 31 in the final. To Toby Hunt.
Yeah, managed to catch him in the South Island secondary school final, and man, really impressed. Love the tenacity that he plays with.
Hawke's Bay get a stop. Jacob Murphy with the ball.
And you see straight away trying to go back to Ferguson down there in the post and clearing out. I wonder if Ezra Eagle tries to get the seal. I'm trying to let Ferguson go to work right now.
And Ferguson with the patience and the strength gets another bucket. He moves to 7 of the Hawks' 9. Hunt. Toby Hunt with the fall away. Ferguson doing work early here. Another rebound.
Yeah, he really is making his mark on this game really early at both ends of the floor, Ferguson, especially in that zone. He's patrolling it down low as well, so having a really great first quarter.
Oh, nice seal, good find. Ezra Eagle, the recipient.
And that's the same thing, trying to exploit that size advantage right now, Hawke's Bay Hawks. Getting that high-low action, Ezra Eagle, great seal.
Into the zone go the Hawks. Vatapayase, but getting behind it is Harrison Bizet, and now it's kicked out. Hunt! Another one, so great communication as Toby Hunt gets the and one on the back of that zone.
Yeah, and I think that one there, you got to allow, maybe allow that shot, because in that instance, Jacob Murphy flew out, allowed that straight line drive. The help defender had to step up. Toby Hunt steps in, takes the contact. But yeah, I think stay strong in that zone if you're the Hawke's Bay Hawks. Allow the Otago Nuggets to keep swinging the ball around, try to get their offense a wee bit disjointed, and then go from there.
Hunt's good on the make for the three-point play opportunity. (11-9). Last possession here. Ferguson. Vatapayase just caught, trying to guard the big man, too aggressive, and it's going to be more shots for Tommy Ferguson here.
Yeah, not the greatest foul there. Obviously, Tatapaese does have the size disadvantage in that instance, but maybe you're looking at double team rather than give up an easy foul and allow Tommy Ferguson to try get going at the line.
He's certainly improved his 50% free throw shooting percentage coming into this game. As Tommy Ferguson, he's now 4 for 5 with another one to come from the Chemist Warehouse strike with 4.2 remaining in this first quarter. This is the second. And here comes Hunt. He's got time with the runner. Banks in the three. It's good. Toby Hunt. What a finish for the Nuggets. And they tied up at 12 after 1.
How nonchalant was that? Just a step down the lane. Could have even been off the wrong foot. Just floated that thing up. I'm sure he called bank as well. Straight glass.
Absolutely.
Easy bucket.
Spent his first 4 years of high school at Waitaki Boys and Oamaru before moving to Shirley Boys and Christchurch for year 13. And Toby Hunt with a highlight play to end the first quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, that's something the Nuggets have needed because they've been maybe a wee bit, the zone's throwing them out a wee bit in terms of the offense, and then they've been exploited a wee bit down low. But when you can get buckets like that, that helps build your momentum. And in such a small game like Rapid League, all the momentum you can get, the better your chances are to win a game.
So both teams shooting the ball really well. Nuggets are 4 of 8. Hawks 4 of 6 and 4 of 6 from the free throw line. We check out some of the highlights. And Toby Hunt features strongly for the Nuggets. And here it is. Did you say off the wrong foot?
Yeah, wee goofy floated there from distance. That's tough. That is tough. But yeah, the Otago Nuggets, I believe that's 3 threes for them. So if you're the Hawke's Bay Hawks, it did have some success in terms of slowing them down. And even though that Toby Hunt one, you're definitely living with that. But if they keep going from 3, maybe they need to start looking at a different defense. You see Christian Martin back in the game, ready to go.
Just a minute between quarters, 2-minute halftime break. And if a game does go to overtime like the Nuggets-Rams game did last Sunday, it's a minute.
And Hawke's Bay choosing to stay in that zone, but showing bodies in that instance. Tatapaese couldn't quite execute the pass, but a great look.
Eagle. Doubles. Good double too, and he makes a strong move. He'll head to the line. Another foul. And so you can have 5 fouls, personal fouls in Rapid League, but team fouls stacking up as they did in the first quarter, also here in the second to start.
Yeah, absolutely, Miles. And if you're the Hawke's Bay Hawks, you keep going back to Eagle, you keep going back to Ferguson. In that instance, you've seen just miss Jacob Murphy. Great cut, and acknowledge that afterwards, but a good strong move from Eagle and really making their presence felt down low, the Hawke's Bay Hawks.
Now you've run against some of these guys, Tom Ingham in Rapid League. Big bodies, Ezra Eagle and Tommy Ferguson for the Hawks.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're a guard and you get caught on the wrong side, even though it is Rapid League and you think maybe you can push them around a bit, it's easier said than done, that's for sure.
Formerly of the Nelson Giants, very good Rapid League crew. Nelson Giants always have strong Rapid League presence. Nuggets get another bucket to tie it up.
Yeah, and good recognition there from the Otago Nuggets. You see Christian Martin starting to patrol that mid-range area, and we know he can score at all 3 levels, so a great look. Hesitation
from Murphy, and Tatapaese just finds himself caught no man's land. That's his 3rd now. Well, Tyson Tatapaese from Wellington making the move south, and he's been a star in Rapid League over previous seasons. Kane Hokianga, coach of the Rapid League unit for the Hawks.
Yeah, Tyson Tatapaese last year in that 102 Jets team, man, he was dynamic, scoring the ball all 3 levels at an incredibly high clip. I think he was around 15, 16 points a game. So you're looking at about a point a minute of just straight buckets.
He led the Rapid League in scoring with 284 points, 15 a game.
Sheesh.
Named to the Rapid League All-Star 5, having a tough go of it in the first quarter. And a nice post move from Harrison Bazette.
Yeah, great move there by Bazette. Got the seal and going to that left hand, showing confidence with both hands.
Part of the Otago under-20 setup. And then deep catch. Ferguson kicks it out. Isaac Allen in the game for the Hawks, number 9, and Tommy Ferguson on the glass, gets his own rebound, puts it up and in with the left. No, he doesn't. And another offensive rebound, almost collected, but it falls to the Nuggets.
Oh, and unfortunate there from Ferguson. See, that goes flying in. But the Otago Nuggets, seeing that first post catch, Tyson Tatapaese did a really good job of fronting. The help was a wee bit late, but if you're the Otago Nuggets, I'm trying to junk it up a wee bit because the Hawke's Bay Hawks are clearly looking for those post touches. So try to get that front, get that help side moving, and man, I think it'll be a lot harder for the Hawke's Bay Hawks to dominate down low.
We've got a close one here in the second quarter, coming up on the midway point. Up high, and Bazette with the move. Harrison Bazette, a couple of nice moves for the Nuggets, getting his footwork going.
Yeah, absolutely. With the left hand, then goes back there with the right, the wee fader. And I think it's really important they keep patrolling that mid-post free throw line type area because that's where the gap is right now in this 2-3 zone.
Eagle collapsing on him are the Nuggets. Has that strong move, that body crashing the glass, and no one has an answer for Ezra Eagle and Tommy Ferguson down low for the Nuggets at the moment.
Yeah, great job there from Ezra Eagle. Just stuck with it. Couldn't get the first one, but going really hard for that deep offensive rebound. You see right there, Hawke's Bay Hawks having success in that zone.
Another team foul. Casson strong to the cup. And that's the third team foul for the Nuggets as well. So shooting foul. And every foul after this. I'll go back to the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Minute 36 to go on this half.
Yeah, that's still a long time. So if you're the Hawke's Bay Hawks, definitely keep attacking. Try to get down into that paint. But the big thing is you got to capitalize on those free throws. But a very clear game plan here by the Hawke's Bay Hawks. And I think the Otago Nuggets need to start to look at their defense. What are they going to do? They're going to start to send double. They're going to front. But I think something needs to change.
Misses both. Now at 8 of 13, another turnover. Murphy back to Kobe Carter, and he's fouled. Kobe Carter heads to the line.
Yeah, a bit careless there from Christian Martin, but uncharacteristic at this Rapid League level. You know, he's someone that takes a lot of ownership in this Otago Nuggets Rapid League side. So in that instance, Kobe Carter getting back to the free throw line, another foul for the Otago Nuggets.
Yeah. Everyone's fouled who's touched the floor for the Nuggets at the moment. That's the 8th team foul in this first half for Coach Ryan Rowley. Isaac Miller-Joe's listed in Rapid League, but he's not playing. He's got a big job for the NZNBL game coming up, so a little bit short-handed. Some of these teams when they play Rapid League.
Yeah, absolutely. Miller-Joe, he will have his feet up the entire time. He's not looking to play in this game, and you'll often see that for guys that have massive contributions in the NBL. They won't be stepping up so much in the Rapid League.
Caleb Smiler also listed in the Rapid League unit, but he hasn't touched the floor yet. He also has some minutes coming up in the NZNBL game.
Well, at this rate for the Otago Nuggets is Jacob Murphy. Great move. At this rate, they better keep those shoes laced up because we could have a couple foul outs yet.
Another stop for the Hawks. They've really put the clamps on here. They have the Hawke's Bay Hawks. Otago just 6 points in this quarter. Murphy, 10 for the home team. Ferguson fronted this time.
Yeah, better job, and you see help starting to go, and you see able to get the turnover on that instant. So I think that has to be a strategy for the Otago Nuggets.
Hunt gives it back to Chisholm. Knocks it down. That's a welcome bucket.
That is an incredibly welcome bucket for the Otago Nuggets. And in that instance, Toby Hunt probably had the three himself, but seen the defender step up. Great extra pass.
And despite all the foul trouble, just down one. 7 seconds to go in the half. Both teams have a BNZ player timeout. Murphy just calling for it.
Yeah,
I might need to put some time back on the clock. Jacob Murphy needs, and I think they are.
I would say a good 2.5, 3 seconds to be fair. He was screaming for
maybe
a hot minute.
Yeah, maybe 6 seconds. But use that QR code, get a ticket to the big game. And it's your chance to head along. All thanks to BNZ Ticket to the Big Game. 5,000 tickets to give away to school groups, sports groups and community groups to see a Sal's NBL game. Fill out your group's details, grab your tickets to the big game thanks to BNZ. So they will have 6 seconds. Murphy, just a deep 3. And that's half time. 22-21, Tom Ingham.
Yeah, right into it. And the Otago Nuggets starting to, I think, identify that the Hawke's Bay Hawks are really having that success down low. But right now, it's been a game of fouls, and the Hawke's Bay Hawks have been able to draw a whole lot of fouls right now. The Otago Nuggets starting to show some promising signs in terms of how they're patrolling that free throw line and high post. So I think if the Hawke's Bay Hawks stay in the zone, that's something they definitely need to look for.
Look at some of these team stats, and stats thanks to the Chemist Warehouse, the official stats provider of the Sal's NBL. It's a +6 rebound advantage for the Hawks. They have 11 at the moment. And even though the Nuggets have 7 assists on 8 field goals, they are just getting blitzed at the free throw line. 10 makes from the Chemist Warehouse stripe for the Hawks on 14 attempts. And yeah, that means that they are fouling a lot at the moment.
Yeah, you're looking at nearly a foul and shooting 2 free throws per minute, which is absolutely crazy. So if you're the Otago Nuggets, I think if they start doubling in that post and force the Hawke's Bay Hawks to do something else, we can probably expect less fouls. But I'm really interested to see how the second half goes and how this Otago Nuggets Rapid League team responds, because they are a very good Rapid League team.
I guess the good news is Fata Paese is the only one in foul trouble for the Nuggets on your screen right now, with 3 personals at half-time. There's also 0 for 2. They're going to need a little bit more out of Fata Paese, but he's always going to be targeted. He's the head of the snake for this team.
Yeah, absolutely. And because the Hawke's Bay Hawks are sitting in that zone, it's a wee bit harder for someone like a Tyson Tatapaese, who's really effective with the ball in hand and works really well in space. So that space right now is a wee bit cramped for the Otago Nuggets, but they are having success at that free throw line, which they'll keep trying to exploit for sure.
Love seeing Ethan Rusbatch involved in the timeout there, the vet. Just seeing some things that maybe his Rapid League team haven't seen out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Having Easy Batch in the mix is always a good time. So, you know, this Otago Nuggets team, they're a very welcome sight. Having Ethan Rusbatch, not only in Otago Nuggets uniform, but also supporting his mates on the Rapid League bench.
Is it because he's in the South Island now, he's Russ Crib? I mean, don't they call it cribs in the South Island?
True, actually. It is a crib.
Yeah.
I can confirm. Can confirm, being a Nelsonian myself, we do call it the crib.
And it is but Russ Batch with a T, so it doesn't really work. I'm glad I pulled that joke out in Rapid League, not in Sal's NBL.
That works, mate.
It's terrible.
I'm with you.
It's a terrible dad joke. I should actually get a technical for that. Seeing the double as Murphy cuts. And again, another foul. That's a tough foul to take, because that's a hard angle on the reverse. He's trying to flip it up and in, and unfortunately Christian Martin just couldn't resist, and he picks up his 3rd.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. Jacob Murphy, deceptively athletic in terms of being very bouncy, but also his first step. And in that instance, Christian Martin wasn't quite there, but did force Murphy to quite a tough angle. Probably didn't need to foul him in that instance. So if you're the Otago Nuggets, you have to clean that up really quickly.
And Tasman, Canterbury, West Coast, get hoops at your school. And putting up hoops around the Motu. That's your opportunity for South Island, top of the South, and Canterbury, West Coast. Use that QR code on your screen. Supporting Chemist Warehouse, supporting the BBNZ Hoops and Schools program. Toby Hunt hangs. Closed out on him nicely, did the Hawks.
And the Hawke's Bay Hawks changed up their defense a wee bit there. Looked like they were going into a bit of a man, but quite a pack man. So still allowing the Otago Nuggets to shoot, but not trying to let them get into the paint.
Murphy given space. Oh, just again, Ferguson, a beast on the glass, 5th rebound. And guess what? He's going to the Chemist Warehouse stripe again.
Run it back, Mr. Ferguson. With a wee headbutt, then a wee glare down low, wee big body, trying to big boy him a wee bit. Don't mind that at all. But yeah, Tommy Ferguson now up to 10 points and 6 rebounds. So that man is rolling right now.
I mean, Hunt 6'4", Bazette 6'5". They're the big bodies for the Nuggets available in Rapidly, but Ferguson's 6'8". And Ezra Eagle, he's 6'3", but he's a wide 6'3". He's a strong 6'3".
Reminds me of young Sam Dempster in terms of the build. Young Sammy D just gets after it. So, you know, those two playing with a lot of physicality right now.
Sammy D looks young now. He hasn't aged a day.
Well, I was talking to Sammy D last night and saying, mate, you're moving better than you were 3 years ago. You are like a fine wine.
What was his secret? Because I'm desperate to know.
Yeah, when I find out, Miles, I'll let you know because
you,
I'm looking for the same thing.
Here is Eagle. Finds Ferguson. And again, guess what? You know it's coming. That's a foul. Baskette this time picks up his third foul.
I would love to know the record for most fouls in a Rapid League game because
I think we've said it.
I wonder if we've surpassed it and it's not even halfway through this third quarter right now.
I'm going to say that's foul 11 currently. And Tommy Ferguson at the line. That is free throw number 8 attempted. Made that one, so 6 makes. Another one coming.
It'd be rare if someone had that many free throw attempts, I think, in the NBL game. This right now, Ferguson is just getting to the line at will, and this lead is blown out to 8.
Yeah, Nuggets still looking for their first bucket. Glass, bank it. Toby Hunt.
That man loves the glass. That's a couple of bank threes now, but sometimes that's all you need to really get going. So maybe Toby Hunt's about to pull this Otago Nuggets team back into the mix.
The Glazier, let's call him the Glazier.
I like it.
Toby
with
Hunt.
it.
Oh, then again, it's Tommy Ferguson giving them the too little.
Small.
15 for Ferguson, 6 rebounds, 2 assists as well. Working on a Rapid League 555.
Why not Mr. Ferguson? He is going nuts right now.
Nice little hesitation. Bank it off the glass. No, Toby Hunt.
Not this time for Toby Hunt. Great look again from him. And if I'm the Otago Nuggets, that's a guy who's got it going right now. Go back to the well.
Another 3 for Toby Hunt. Nuggets are back in this. And they force the turnover as well. Casson just caught out. And that's a tough corner to be caught in. You've got the sideline and the halfway line and a defender. And Tatapaese jumped on that opportunity.
Yeah, did a really good job just extending that pressure and allowing that catch to be in such an awkward spot. But go back to Toby Hunt. Get him another one.
15 for him. That 3's long from Baskette. Just like that, Nuggets are back in it.
And that's all it takes in Rapid League. Just hit a couple of 3s. The game can swing so quickly, just like the momentum does. You can see right now, the Otago Nuggets doing a better job of being aware as to where Tommy Ferguson is.
Murphy swishes the dead on 3.
Well, it doesn't matter when you got someone like Jacob Murphy who can light it up from downtown. Good meter back there and just let that thing fly.
He's got 9, 3 rebounds and 4 assists. Tatapaese. And it's going to be Tommy Ferguson's ball. He's working on a double-double. He's got 7 boards.
Man, he is just both ends, making his presence felt. And straight away, you see him trying to get that lob over the top. But the Otago Nuggets, they're aware of it that time.
Corner 3 is good.
The Hawke's Bay Hawks are rolling right now. They are shooting an incredibly high clip, over 50%. And then now their 3's out to 50% as well.
I'm going to say they're 2 of 4, so yeah, that is correct. Balin Casson getting that first bucket of the game. 10 seconds for the Nuggets. Chisholm had to give it up in a jump ball situation. Possession arrow. Who's it going? It's staying with the Nuggets. 5.4 to go in the third. And just like that, it was a 2-score game. Now it's blown out to 10.
Yeah, the Otago Nuggets spacing just a wee bit all over the shop right now. Only have one guy in the corner and no guy on that weak side corner. So the help's able to sink in that instance. Baskette had nowhere to go.
This is the biggest lead of the game for the Hawks. Just a handful of seconds to go. 5:04 is incorrect on your clock, just in case you're wondering, viewer.
See what they get here, but I'm trying to get Toby Hunt another touch right now because he's the one that's got it going.
Need to put it up. And that almost went in from Baskette. And that will be the third quarter. And I think Tommy Ferguson felt like they could have used the BNZ player timeout. And just maybe they did call the BNZ player timeout.
Yeah,
No, I don't know, they didn't.
I would hope not in that situation. That's one you want to keep up your sleeve just in case this game gets close. But Jacob Murphy, he's hit a few of these before. Not on this occasion.
10 is the lead. Hawke's Bay with a strong finish to the third quarter. 15 points in that quarter for the hosts. And the Nuggets looking down the barrel of a 10-point lead. It's hard to pull a lead back in Rapid League. Anything other than a 2-score game is really tough in Rapid League. Tom, you know that.
Yeah, it really is. You know, if you're the Otago Nuggets now, you can't die wondering. I think you've got to get the ball and try to push the tempo a wee bit. Probably been a wee bit guilty of trying to slow things down, and it's played into the Hawke's Bay Hawks' hands a wee bit, going into that zone and trying to pack in that defense. So I think trying to up the tempo, why not right now? In terms of Tyson Tatapaese, I think he needs to get the ball in his hand. Hasn't had too many looks this game, but I think he needs to start to let it fly. And then Toby Hunt, 15 points. That's a guy that needs to, I think, be getting more touches.
Yeah, Toby Hunt getting the touch off the glass there, but it's just been the work of Ferguson in the middle. Toby Hunt doing his best offensively. He's got 15. Ferguson has 15. But Cassin's corner three pushing that lead to 10 now for Hawke's Bay.
And this first minute for the Otago Nuggets is really important. I think they need to set a bit of a precedent down the defensive end, ensure they're not fouling, playing straight up. And then I think if they can get stops and try speed this game up a wee bit, it could hurry Hawke's Bay up and not allow them to get those easy post catches that they've been getting so far this game.
The rebounding is huge for Hawke's Bay. It's a 17-5 advantage for the Hawks.
That is immense.
15 of 19 from the Chemist Warehouse stripe as well. Now the Hawks. I'll tell you what, that's beautiful from Eagle and Cassin as the defender went down. That's a nice play to get us going here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that is certainly not going to help the Otago Nuggets. See, already the Hawke's Bay Hawks able to set that zone and junk it up. And straight away, Martin not able to capitalize on that instance.
Jacob Murphy has 1 rebound and 1 assist for a Rapid League 555, Tom. I'm very excited. This is rare. I don't hear anyone else pumping it up in Rapid League games, so he's a chance because he's going to play all 4 minutes in this fourth.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm all about it. I love the 555. See, Ezra Eagles straight back to work. But yeah, showing that well-roundedness and being a leader in this team.
Hunt. Good defense. Finally an offensive rebound for the Nuggets. Gives them another opportunity. Eagle pulls down the board. Here is Jacob Murphy.
They just can't get it going right now, the Otago Nuggets. And it's really hard, especially when the Hawke's Bay Hawks are able to get into the paint so easy. But a great deflection there from Christian Martin. Nearly leaves it behind, but gets the ball.
That's a pass there. Still looking for his first points in the game. Part of the Rapid League 5 last year, the All-Star 5, and a turnover. It's a game to forget for Tyson Tatapaese.
Yeah, it has a bit of a different role in this team as well. I think because this Otago Nuggets team is so well-rounded, he had the ultimate green light for the Manawatu Jets last year. So a bit of a different role, but yeah, he's struggled to get it going. But that is great high-low action there from the Hawke's Bay Hawks.
That is basketball.
At its finest, Miles. At its finest.
They need this to go. Chisholm, this is it. And this is really getting away on the Nuggets now, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, and these are great looks for the Otago Nuggets. Getting inside and out, catch and shoot threes, but sometimes you just have those days, just not going right now.
Tatapaese pushing. And a rare foul called on the Hawke's Bay Hawks. Ferguson picks up his first in the game. In fact, the Hawke's Bay Hawks, that is the second foul in the game.
Wow. That foul count, I'm sure if you're the Otago Nuggets, you'll be going back and you'll be asking some questions, but the Hawke's Bay Hawks have done a really good job at just isolating those post touches. And the Otago Nuggets, just a wee bit handsy and not able to get all the way in front.
Ferguson sits down. What a shift from him. 15 and 7, plus 3 assists as well. For Tommy Ferguson.
Great signs for him as well, going into that NBL game. If he's had success now, can hopefully come in and make sure he makes those contributions at the NBL game as well.
Well, they're a relatively short team in the Sal's NBL, the Hawke's Bay Hawks, because Chase Jeter had missed their first 5 games, but he's back as Kobe Carter gets to the hoop nicely. They've got a little bit of size and experience in Chase Jeter. And Toby Hunt off the heel of the iron.
Yeah, I'm interested to see this Hawke's Bay outfit, you know, at full strength. They've been waiting for that full strength outfit for a long time, and even though they haven't got a win yet, it's still a dangerous team. So they'll be looking for number one against the solid Otago Nuggets team today.
Casson gave it the Dirk. Off to the right. That's a Taisi. A little bit of a hesitation. Nice move. Hey, look, if you're only going to get one bucket, make sure it's gorgeous like that.
Yeah, that was saucy. You know, showed all of the tricks in his bag there, able to evade that defender, and tough finish.
Jacob Murphy still looking for that rebound and assist. And why not? Just fill it up. He's double figures now, 12 for him.
Yeah, we double figures, 555 would be a nice wee outfit for Jacob Murphy in this game.
I think Jacob Murphy's running out of time, to be honest. Maybe grabs an O board and then dishes up an assist. There's an opportunity on this possession here.
Here we go. Pick and roll, pocket pass, assist number 5.
Here comes Eagle. With the switch, though. Casson with the up fake. Stepping through. Here's Murphy. Shoot it, Kobe.
There you go.
Can't get it. Hussin for the rebound. Comes up short. Nuggets, though, come away with their final shot of the game. And Murphy and the Hawks will call their BNZ player timeout there. And they want the option to advance the ball or keep it in the backcourt. So you get your ticket to the big game, scan that QR code to win tickets for a chance to this season's big games anywhere near you for all sorts of different groups, school groups, community groups, sports groups.
Yeah, if you're the Hawke's Bay Hawks here, I think you want the last shot. You want to make sure the Otago Nuggets can't get in and get a BNZ player timeout of their own. Try to keep this points differential as large as possible.
That 3 missed by Isaac Allen, and that's the game. And the Hawke's Bay Hawks, too strong in the second half. And they pull away and they win the game 46-31 at Rodney Green Arenas in Napier.
Yeah, the Otago Nuggets, I think one person who they really missed in that game was the slippery eel. Old Matty Bardsley would have been a great addition and would have really helped them. But this Hawke's Bay Hawks team really came to play, established themselves down low early through Tommy Ferguson, Ezra Eagle, and then Jacob Murphy really controlling the tempo from the outside. So you see in the points there, that Ferguson-Hunt battle was a great one. And then Jacob Murphy as well, incredible, nearly got that 555, that elusive 555.
23 rebounds to 11, and the assists, 10 assists on 11 made field goals for the Nuggets, just not enough field goals or trips to the line for that matter. The glass battle was overwhelmingly for the Hawks in their favor. Just 3 of 3 from the charity stripe with the Nuggets, and 15 of 19 attempts for the Hawks. And good pressure by Hawke's Bay, getting 4 steals.
Yeah, that was ultimately the difference. They just established themselves down low, got to the free throw line, able to slow the game down, and you know, Hawke's Bay will be incredibly happy with that performance today.
Final score 46-31. We'll be back shortly for the Sal's NBL game between the Hawke's Bay Hawks, looking for their first win of the season, up against the table-topping Otago Nuggets.
right, I'm here with Ethan Ruspatch, a.k.a. the Doctor. Hey, Ethan, thanks for your time. Good luck for the game, man.
Roger.
All right, I'm here with the Big Barrel Hawks, Chase Jeter.
And the other team.
Awesome. Hey, appreciate your time. Good luck for the game.
Kia ora te whānau. Welcome along. Saturday afternoon hoops, round 5. Rodney Green Arenas in Napier. In the Sal's NBL, the Hawke's Bay Hawks hosting the Otago Nuggets. It's the bottom of the ladder against the top of the ladder. But do the Hawks see something down below that they can swoop in on and snatch a win in their first one of this 2026 Sal's NBL season? And they've got a big reason why that could happen this afternoon. Andrew Mulligan, Tom Ingen on hand for this one. And Tom, this one is going to be very interesting. This is the Hawks team that have come really close. And at the moment, it's pretty close as to who people think will win. Use that QR code, yourshout.vote, to have a say.
Yeah, right now, Mels, in terms of this Hawke's Bay team, haven't been full strength yet, but now you see a full contingent, and even though they are winless right now, this is without a doubt a dangerous team. And the Otago Nuggets coming off a loss against the Canterbury Rams, so it'll be interesting to see how the Hawke's Bay Hawks front up tonight.
And this is how it looks in the Sal's NBL standings. The Rams, by virtue of getting that win over the Fire earlier today, are now top of the table. Coming into this round, the Otago Nuggets were, and they took that L against the Rams on Sunday. So that's how the top of the table looks. Tuatara go tomorrow afternoon against the Nelson Giants. And the Hawke's Bay Hawks 0-5 and desperately need to string some wins together in the Sal's NBL.
Yeah, absolutely do. They look really good in the Rapid League. Tommy Ferguson, Jacob Murphy having great games, but I think with the injection of new import, Jeter, as we'll see very soon, and then guys like Dan Greeder has been dominant so far, so expecting a good one this afternoon.
Jets Sharks completes the triple header on your Saturday afternoon. Sunday's got a double for your mum, Tuatara Giants and the Saints and the Bulls. And then we go again Wednesday, the Bulls and the Jets and the Sharks and the Tuatara. That will be a great game as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm expecting.
You've got your eye on that Giants game tomorrow, I know.
100%. Alex McNaught.
Former Giant Tom Ingham.
Yeah, good to be here, good to be here. Alex McNaught 100, it'll be a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. This is how it looks for the Otago Nuggets. Boy Tuach, Ethan Rusbatch, Alain Louis, Mackenzie and Hen round out the starting five for head coach Jeff Sparrow. Ethan Rusbatch is the vet, and he joined us before with the broadcast.
All right, I'm here with Ethan Rusbatch, a.k.a. the Doctor. Doc, Otago Nuggets coming in here to the Hawks' Nest. What do you think are going to be at least three of the keys that's going to get you a victory tonight?
Firstly, it's a hard-playing team. I don't think the record actually speaks for what they've been doing. So we know we've got to come out and we've got to play hard. Otherwise, it's going to be a battle like they've given every other team in the league. We've got to stick to our rules that coaches put in from the start of the season. If we do that, we've proven that we look solid. And then, the downhill guys from the Hawks, we're just got to take care of them and stay out of foul trouble.
Awesome. Now, you're coming back to a former team in the Hawks' Nest here. Is there any special incentive, you really want to get this one?
Nah, I want to win every game the same. I just want to put on a good show for all my, the people that I consider family back here. And, just hope they enjoy it.
Awesome. Hey, Ethan, thanks for your time. Good luck for the game, man.
Roger.
Coffee, Ethan, the Doctor. Thank you very much for your time, Ethan Rusbatch. Yeah, he's got family all over the Sal's NBL. He is an excellent pickup for the Otago Nuggets. Lots of promise here for the Hawke's Bay Hawks because number 88, Chase Jeter, in the lineup. They've been waiting for the big to get fit with a calf injury, and he complements a very high-powered offensive team from the Hawks who have a lot of potential to put the ball in the bucket.
Yeah, absolutely. You see with Jackson Ball, Dan Greeder, and Keanu Rasmussen there as well. They've had great starts to the season, even though the wins haven't gone their way. But I think with this full outfit, this Hawke's Bay Hawks team is certainly not a 0-5 team.
They average 93 points a game. Jackson Ball, Dan Greeder, Keanu Rasmussen, and McLaughlin and Jeter. And he joined us before the broadcast as well, did the American.
I'm here with the Big Barrel Hawks, Chase Jeter. First of all, welcome to New Zealand. Now, it's your first game out. Fans have been looking forward to you getting on the court. Now, what can they expect out of a baller like yourself?
Just someone who's going to play the game with a lot of love, calm, poised, humble, and spread love through the game of basketball.
Awesome. Now, it's a big game tonight, The Otago Nuggets coming in. How are you liking your chances of getting a W tonight in the Hawks' Nest, and what do you think that's going to entangle? What kind of things you're going to have to do to get a win tonight?
Just play together, listen to what coach has for us, talk, be one as a unit, and kind of let the flow of the game take care of itself and hope that we score more points at the end than the other team.
Awesome. Hey, appreciate your time. Good luck for the game.
Chase Jeter, 6'9", 28-year-old out of Las Vegas. Recently played for the Vipers in the G League. He's played in Austria, Czech Republic as well. And so Chase Jeter, a big in for the Hawke's Bay Hawks. And this is how it looks head-to-head thanks to the Chemist Warehouse.
Yeah, we see right there, I think the big thing that's pointed out is the defense there for the Otago Nuggets. You know, they're really connected defensively, but the other thing that's a real big point out is the free throw percentage. The Otago Nuggets get to the line better than any team in the league, but shoot the lowest percentage. But that player spotlight in terms of Dan Greeder versus Ethan Rusbatch, that's going to be a great showdown. But I think this game is going to be dictated by whoever can control the tempo. The Hawke's Bay Hawks, they like to get out and run, and they're really effective when they're doing that, and now they're at full strength. They should be dangerous, whereas the Otago Nuggets, they like to keep things nice and connected, ensure that the ball's moving, their defense is sound. So I think whoever controls the tempo in this game early is going to be on top tonight.
Yeah, it's the #1 defense in points allowed. The Otago Nuggets an 81.8 points on average a game, and that is tightening up already as to who people think will win this game. The Hawks get 48% of the votes at the moment. Not a bad shout. Let's see if the Otago Nuggets, who took a bit of a licking from the Academy Rams on Sunday, real taste as to what they can expect when they come to the finals if the Otago Nuggets can stay healthy and maintain that defensive pressure, because they had a target on their back and the Rams certainly took their shot.
Yeah, absolutely they did. You know, the Canterbury Rams, always a quality outfit. And this Otago Nuggets team, probably in pre-season predictions, you didn't expect them to be all the way up at the top. However, they are an incredibly connected side, and they play the right way. No one really sticks out statistically in terms of dominating. Tuach is someone who's had a lot of success so far, but the fact that is all by committee in terms of how they play the game, it makes them a dangerous outfit.
Well, he comes from the Tuatara boy, Tuach, when he had a balanced team last year. He averaged just under 17 a game, 16.2 actually. Here, he's averaging almost 21 a game for the Nuggets. They need that. They need that offense. They're 8th in the league in scoring at just a tick under 89 points a game on average. And their defense is what they're known for so far through 5 games of the South NBL. Jeff Sparrow's come in. He's got some systems that he's got them bought into defensively. And it's going to be Regan Ashley, Hayden Pipe, and Sam Badzian controlling this one for the Barter card referees.
Yeah, I think it'll be really interesting to see what the Otago Nuggets come out in straight away. They've changed up their defense a lot, showing different signs of 1-3-1 type zones. They've shown 2-3 zones in terms of switching up and with man as well. So I'll be interested to see how they come out with this Hawke's Bay team, who loves to get downhill. I can expect a bit of zone early doors.
Well, these two teams don't shoot a particularly high percentage as a unit from 3, but the addition of Chase Jeter, him down low or play maybe up high, just getting that distribution through, touch the paint, kick it out, see how they go.
Yeah, absolutely, because right now Dan Greeder's had to play a whole lot at the 4, but now he gets to move back to his natural position at the 3-man. So I think what that does is it gives the Hawke's Bay Hawks a bit of flexibility as well, because they now have a bit of depth with guys like Alonzo Burton, Tommy Ferguson, Jacob Murphy coming off the bench and playing their part too.
Chase Jeter will jump with Zach McKenzie. Chase Jeter went to college at Duke in Arizona. That is 2 very good basketball universities. Nuggets with the ball through Alain Louis, Canadian national. Rusbatch, Ethan Rusbatch glances the right side of the rim. Here comes Keanu Rasmussen. Rasmussen, Australian New Zealand citizenship. Here's Jeter, dropping it off for Dan Greeder, your old teammate. Great human being, great basketball player, and they go straight to Jeter, and Jeter finds Rasmussen.
And a great job there from the Otago Nuggets in terms of being able to stop the Hawke's Bay Hawks from really getting into the paint, as you see right there. Best defender in the league, that sideline.
Undefeated early in the mix for Defender of the Year, absolutely. Defensive Player of the Year. Just a step out, seen that a lot lately, especially in this league, just finding the spacing.
Oh, it's common, and Phil Jones has a canary every time that you do it, without a doubt. You see right there, Otago Nuggets going straight into that 2-3 zone, but you see at the back there, we've got guys stepping up early and allowing them to not get that easy free throw line catch.
Chase Jeter, and you see the experience there, just caught it in deep and then just used that body with the footwork Gets his first bucket in the Sal's NBL.
And
congratulations, Chase Jeter.
Good job, Chase Jeter. And the Hawke's Bay Hawks, they lead the league in points in the paint per game, and now you add a genuine big in the mix. I expect that to continue to rise.
Rasmussen knocks down the first 3 of the game.
And like we talked about, Miles, this Hawke's Bay Hawks team, this is a different outfit and certainly not an 0-5 team. So straight away, coming out hot.
They're 8th in the league in made threes, under 9 a game on average. Louis, and he stepped out. No, he traveled. I thought he might have planted out of bounds, but he traveled.
Yeah, it did look a wee bit like I took that step backwards. You know, Louis is a guy that gets downhill really well, and it looks like straight away the Otago Nuggets want to talk about it. Looking a wee bit disconnected right now.
Knowing their defense is one thing, but just executing on offense is what Jeff Sparrow most likely is wanting them to recommit to what they talked about pre-game. And yes, just a minute 37 into the game and they're already calling a timeout.
Yeah, the Otago Nuggets, they do a good job moving the ball side to side. It does slow the pace down a wee bit, as we see right there. I was looking for a transition, Miles, but I didn't quite have it.
Slow your pace down.
Slow your pace down.
Get your large non-pizza, Tom Ingham. $35.
There we go.
You're catching up with some of your old teammates. Maybe you could head to a Sal's near you.
Yeah,
absolutely. The Nelson Giants. Use that online code, Sal's Slam 26, through the QR code. $35 large non-pizza.
The transition was on the tip of my tongue, but didn't quite get it in that instance. But, you know, such is life. We push forward. But the Otago Nuggets hopefully regrouped, and they'll be looking to, you know, touch up their offense and ensure they're still trying to get those paint touches and try attack that Hawke's Bay Hawks defense, currently sitting in a man right now.
What I like about Chase Jeter, yeah, you can go to these colleges, you've got the size and stuff, but he also played for the under-18 Team USA team. So that's a sign of how highly regarded he was as a youth coming through their incredible system. As Dan Greeter's corner ball pops in and out. And then it's a foul as Jeremy McLaughlin is in the mix there trying to grab an offensive board. Jeremy McLaughlin, he's 6'8" as well. And he's averaging 12.5 points, 6 rebounds. Haven't really talked about. Oh, wow. Dan Greeter on the inbound.
Greeds. How good. He loves it too. Dan Greeter off the back with the two-hand flush.
Tuach. Rasmussen on him. Operating with McKenzie. Trying to get around Ferguson. Greeter pulling down the board. And this is what the home fans want to see in a start for the Hawks. Greeter. And McLaughlin taken out off the ball by the power of Ethan Rusbatch.
And this again from the Hawke's Bay Hawks, the doctor actually. The doctor, as we learned pre-game, Ethan Rusbatch. But I think this is where the Hawke's Bay Hawks are dangerous. If they can get stops and slow the Otago Nuggets down on the offensive end and not allow them to get their defense set, this Hawke's Bay Hawks team will look very dangerous.
Jackson Ball, quiet season by his lofty standards for the young man. Not averaging double figures as he gives it up to Chase. Left-hand finish. Can't get the roll.
And again, great look, trying to continue that points in the paint. The Hawke's Bay Hawks being very aggressive as Ethan Rusbatch.
Good closeout defense on him. Tried to find McKenzie, had to shoot it. Greeter. Jeter up high this time. Looking for Rasmussen. And offensive foul, Chase Jeter. Maybe just needed to get his legs underneath him a little bit here in the opening salvos of this round 5 matchup between the Hawks and the Nuggets.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming off an injury, he'll be trying to, you know, get his legs underneath him. Gave up a wee one there, but I think the main difference in this Hawke's Bay Hawks team, we've seen the start of the season, they were run and gun, shoot at the start of the shot clock, but you see they're a bit more connected, trying to get the ball through hands.
Always a focus in the Sal's NBL is that on-ball screen. Ferguson took the bait, and Miller Joe's in the game.
Great finish there from Miller Joe. He gives this Otago Nuggets team a lot off the bench. You know, he's that backup big, does all the little things, has great footwork, and that's a tough.
Oh, Jeremy McLaughlin. Wouldn't you love that in your arsenal, Tom Ingham?
Oh, I absolutely would. I mean, some athleticism would be nice for a start, but that is an incredible left-hand finish.
Tuach. Rusbatch there. Rasmussen closed on him hard. And now, excuse me, that was McKenzie, my bad. Stretch on the weak side. Louis to Tuach in the corner, checked his feet. Greeter. What I love about Dan Greeter, not in this instance, but as soon as he grabs the board, he goes, he pushes.
He is, and I tell you what, good luck staying in front of him once he gets ahead of steam, because he is tough to stop.
Turnover there. McKenzie took it. Louis. McKenzie on the trailer. No one picked him up. No escape on that one.
Yeah, I like that look from McKenzie too, and you know, he's a guy who's just stepped into this Otago Nuggets team and is playing with great confidence, which is really great to see him back in the NBL doing his thing.
Reaching on the Rasmussen drive. Nuggets started this game 1 for 7.
And credit that to the Hawke's Bay Hawks defense for a start too. You know, they've identified this Otago Nuggets team isn't the best shooting team, so they're trying to stick in that man, but clog that paint a wee bit, allowing catch and shoot threes with late closeouts. Probably the one guy you don't want getting going for them is Ethan Rusbatch.
Jackson Ball, 8 points a game so far. Burton in the game. Rasmussen stepping to his left. Strokes that three, Keanu Rasmussen. That's his second from downtown.
Yeah, Keanu Rasmussen has looked incredibly confident shooting that three all season long. You see right there with the hand in his face, no hesitation.
McKenzie, nice patience from the young man, Zach McKenzie. Started at the Bulls, went overseas, played some basketball in the US, has come back with a nice frame, also played in the Aussie V-League as well.
Yeah, I was asking around about Zach McKenzie last night, and from what I heard, him and Liam Judd on the Franklin Bulls just put hours and hours as development players. It's great finish there from McLaughlin. They put hours and hours in, and it's so good right now to see both of them flourishing at this level too.
Just in Australia, correction for Zach McKenzie. Great to see him back in the Sales NBL. And physically, he is looking very strong. It's Rusbatch, nice on ball from Miller Joes, and that gets a nice round of applause from the Nuggets bench and their coach.
Yeah, and Ethan does such a good job at that. He knows people are going to close him out. They're going to be chasing him off any dribble handoff or on-ball screen. He's able in that instance to turn the corner, get downhill, draw the contact.
That's a good screen from Miller Joes as well. Even when they pivot and you have to run into the hip there, that's a nice action there from the Nuggets.
Yeah, and Miller Jost does that really well. Does all those little things you need. He screens well, he gets out of screens quickly also, and then a high flyer too. Definitely will put some highlights on as well.
Tasman, Canterbury, West Coast, it's your turn. The Chemist Warehouse, Hoops and Schools. And the QR code. And you can go to the BBNZ website. You hope to get your school or playground hoop in an area near you. Tasman, West Coast, and Canterbury as Jackson Ball gives Hawke's Bay their third three.
Yeah, it's tough to believe he is just 1 year out of school, because man, he plays with so much confidence at this level. You see right there, looks him straight in the eye, bucket.
Big lead early. Can't get the roll. 17-6. Nuggets offense now 2 for 8. Burton had it blocked. Oh, it falls to Tommy Ferguson.
And straight away, this is where this Hawke's Bay Hawks team, if they can get stops down that defensive end and push the tempo and not allow that Otago Nuggets defense to get set, which has been so successful this season, it's going to be really hard going for this Otago Nuggets team.
Tommy Ferguson at the line. He's basically, I think he stayed there from the Rapid League game, to be honest, Tommy Ferguson, because he had a heck of a game against the Nuggets. He had 15 points, 7 rebounds. He was 7 of 9 from the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Makes that one. Tommy Ferguson in fine form.
Yeah, he really is, you know, and this is a guy that was starting before Chase Jeter was injected into this lineup and has looked really good at the Rapid League level, but has also looked good at the NBL level too, doing all the little things for this Hawke's Bay Hawks team.
Miller Joe's up high. Rusbatch puts it on the floor. Elbow jumper too strong. Comes off the rebound. Rasmussen and Burton couldn't quite connect to control it, so it will be Nuggets ball. Greeter back in the game after a short rest, and Jackson Ball takes a seat.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with this Hawke's Bay Hawks defense for a start. You know, even though Ethan Rusbatch, we know he can knock that down, that's one you're pretty happy with.
Batch couldn't get the English close-out defense from Tommy Ferguson. Rasmussen, it's 5-on-4 at the moment. Greeder ran to the corner, knowing his man was still trailing. And here come the Nuggets, and Caleb Smiler's fouled. And that's good pressure from Caleb Smiler. He came into your living room maybe on the replay.
It looked like Dan Greeder was trying to give it the old LeBron James, send that to next week too. He was lining that up from a mile away, but great attack there from Caleb Smiler.
Caleb Smiler at the line. Played it for the Taranaki Airs before joining the Nuggets 3 years ago. Played all 21 games last season. And it has to be said, it was a tough old season for the Nuggets. Just 3 wins in 2025, and now they've got 4 in 2026 Sal's NBL.
Yeah, and Caleb Smiler, I think, is a guy, in terms of this Otago Nuggets team, that even though you had those 3 wins last year, he was a guy that probably benefited from that in terms of getting some extended minutes and showing that he's definitely more than capable of playing at this level.
Greeder. There's pressure from Miller Joes.
Sends the apology too to his coach, Greeder, after that one.
Sort of forced it as Miller Joes with the Euro.
Tough wee footwork there from Isaac Miller Joes. Does a really good job showing that Euro, that wee reverse. Tough finish.
6'10", 27-year-old from the Wellington region. P-Town, Porirua, Rasmussen, Ferguson, McLaughlin. Forced Miller Joes, Tatapayase in there.
Yeah, got away with that one the wee bit, the Otago Nuggets. An easy offensive rebound, not really putting a body on, so that's something they'll have to clean up.
Smiler, no one picked him up, so he puts it up for Miller Joes. And I think Jeremy McLaughlin will be called for the foul there.
Yeah, great awareness from Smiler there too. He got off his feet pretty quickly and looked like he maybe had a pull-up, but seeing Miller Joes had the advantage there in terms of slipping behind. Great wee lob.
Lane Louis back in the game for Otago Nuggets. Both teams with 4 team fouls with 2:33 to go. Miller Joes at the line.
Yeah, we certainly haven't seen any shortage of fouls so far from our Rapid League and then going back into it today. So that's something the players are going to have to look at and make some adjustments.
Good on the second. We've got ourselves a timeout, Hawke's Bay. Want to talk about it. Coach Will Lopez, the coach for the Hawke's Bay Hawks, and wants to have a chat. Enjoying a 19-10 lead, but the Nuggets have certainly come back in the second half of this opening quarter.
Yeah, they really have, and I think a lot of that comes down to just getting stops down the defensive end, not allowing that Hawke's Bay team to run, getting their defense set, and then making sure they're securing those rebounds and then allowing themselves to get back out and running, because the Hawks like to run up and down, but also sometimes they do get caught out in that transition defense. So even though this Otago Nuggets team plays at a slower pace, that's something they can look to definitely exploit. But Keanu Rasmussen right now has been lights out, shooting that thing with confidence. See Greeder there, the wee bounce the ball off the back, but Isaac Miller Joes showing his footwork as well. So definitely plenty of highlights so far in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams have tried the 3-ball, but not at a great rate. But the Hawks might just change things up with the addition of Chase Jeter. We've seen them already shoot 8 threes. And that is a 3-point rate that you're just not quite used to with the Hawke's Bay Hawks. Sit mid-table, around about 38% of their offense coming through the deep ball. But they're shooting 7 of 15 to open, just 3 of 11 other Nuggets.
Yeah, I think you're right there too, Mels, when you start to put a wee bit of size in there. Even though they've been effective in the points in the paint, for guys like Rasmussen, Ball, Greeder and Burton, it allows them to really start to space it out and shoot some more threes.
Here's Rasmussen. Ferguson comes over. 4 subs coming to the scorers table for Lopez, and the make is good.
Yeah, McLaughlin's got a really nice touch to that left hand. And, that's saying the Hawke's Bay Hawks can really exploit, especially if the Otago Nuggets sit in that drops like on-ball screen defense.
Hen had a tough goal, but McLaughlin copped one from Tuach inadvertently. But the Hawks get the stop. Rasmussen. Greta goes out the smaller Fatapaese, gets the and one.
And as he does so well, Dan Greta, he's able to rip both ways, left and right, but he does such a good job at stopping on 2 feet. And when he gets in the paint, he's able to work through contact and is incredibly good at finishing as well.
Greta to the line, Jacob Murphy, Kobe Carter, Jackson Ball, Chase Jeter into the game. The only player out there that was just on the court is, of course, Dan Greta at the line for the N1 from the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Can't get the roll. McKenzie pulls it down.
Yeah, and Dan Greta, he'll be disappointed with that one, not able to finish it, but what a start to the season it's been for him. Currently around 25 points and 10 rebounds a game, so that man is hooping right now.
Absolutely. Alain Louis. I love the fact Dan Greta comes back to the Sal's NBL. Could play NBL 1 and Dan Greta slips over. And thankfully it's just a slip there. And they are going to wipe that out because that is a lane that is often travelled in basketball. But yeah, I tell you what, Tom Ingham knows the injury history of Dan Greta, and you flinched when he went down.
Oh, 100%. Like I've talked about before, I have never seen someone put their body on the line like Dan Greta. He is 100 miles an hour, and with the injury history he's had, the adversity he's had to overcome, man, you just want to see him continue to play for as long as he can. So definitely a flinch in that regard.
He's bleeding from the elbow as well, so he has to step off the floor and have that attended to. And Alonzo Burton will check in the game for him.
Yeah, great to see Burton back in a Hawke's Bay uniform too, after his long tenure with the Southland Sharks, but returning home for the twilight of his career, he's good to see him back in black.
Jackson Ball, what a dish to Jeter. Good defense on the big for the Nuggets. Alain Louis stepping through, fires it out to McKenzie. Up to Paese, almost banked it in. Murphy couldn't control the rebound.
Oh, and unfortunate there from the Hawke's Bay Hawks. A great look there from Tatapaese. I would have liked to see McKenzie shoot that one, step into that with confidence, but good look there from Tatapaese. Murphy, if he dished that in, that's what the Hawke's Bay Hawks need to do so they can keep looking to push the tempo down the other end.
Alain Louis to get us back underway. Tuach. Nice give and go. Oh boy, Tuach gets up. Double clutch around the defense.
That was sneaky, and a great look there from Miller Joseph. Tuach, my goodness.
Zoe Burton with the look to Jeter up high, operating with the big faces up on Miller Joes. Look at the post moves from Miller Joes on the defense. Stops Jeter's little baby hook, and then Joes to the cup. Puts it all the way at the other end.
Why not Isaac Miller-Jose walking straight down the main street? Bumper.
Great defense, then the dunk. First quarter winding down. Here's Jackson Ball. Left hand. And Jeter on the glass. Bodies everywhere. And that's the first quarter. Tom Ingham. What a lot of excitement in that final minute there. 23-14. It's the Hawke's Bay Hawks leading the Nuggets after one. No mai hoki mai, welcome back. 23-14, the Nuggets 0-5. Bottom of the ladder. Taking it to the Otago Nuggets, who are top of the ladder, heading into today. Canterbury Rams now top after taking out the fight. Nuggets looking to retake the lead in the South NBL, but uphill battle going on right now. Alonzo Burden and the Hawke's Bay Hawks looking very good here for Will Lopez and their Hawke's Bay Hawks fans.
He's straight away trying to go back to Jeter, and the Nuggets look like they were in a zone, but gone out, and here we go. That is an offensive foul.
Might have got him for the hook. Mike Henn, he stumbled a little bit, and referee right there caught it all 3D.
Yeah, and straight away, and that's the second foul on Jeter. So hopefully, you know, he can stay on those 2 fouls, and we can see more of him in this game.
Yeah, 2 fouls for Jeter. 1 for an offensive screen and 1 for an offensive move. 2-3 zone. Louis, what can he get going? William Porter, Prince, Haiti, and there's no hating on that little jump hook from Mike Henn, who needs to get going for the Nuggets if they're going to get points. Who's their second option behind Tuach, who averages over 20?
Yeah, absolutely they do. You know, Henn's a guy that needs to continue to patrol out of the short roll and through that mid-post. As you see right now, Jackson Ball and Jeter look to have a bit of a connection going early.
Jackson Ball, another one-handed bounce pocket pass.
Throwing seeds out here, which is great to see. You know, the young man continuing to thrive in this league, and that's a good look there for the Otago Nuggets.
That is not what you want if you're a Hawke's Bay Hawks fan, to see Rusbatch get clean looks. Because if it's in the second quarter, you know they're going to drop soon. Carter in deep, fires it out. Murphy to his rapid league teammate, Jacob Murphy. Good minutes off the bench for Coach Will Lopez and the Hawks.
And again, this is great to see. In rapid league, Jacob Murphy was a guy who had a great outing, stepped straight into this main game as Ethan Rusbatch goes for a bit of showtime.
Ethan Rusbatch could not have said to the referee quicker, it was touched on a behind-the-back pass.
Oh, and he's,
but
he's lost
been robbed.
Oh,
in his
no.
eyes. Referee's right there, though. No matter how much the vet sells it. Like this from the Nuggets, extending their pressure in a dead ball situation on the baseline, and that's why, because Tuach is a long-rangey defender, and he can put the ball in the hoop. It has it stuffed, but he's fouled.
And I think that's great from the Otago Nuggets. You know, this is a team that normally tries to get back and get their zone set and allow their defense to be really packed in. However, they definitely have the athletes to be able to extend that pressure. And you see in that instance, able to put some real pressure on the Hawke's Bay Hawks and get the steal.
Well, want to get hoops for your school in the Tasman Canterbury West Coast area? It's their turn now. You can do so through that QR code. Check out how to apply it. Basketball NZ's website, or use that QR code right now. Or through the Chemist Warehouse Hoops and Schools partnership with Basketball NZ.
The mighty Tasman region's in need, so definitely scan that QR code.
Rasmussen fires it to the corner. On the drive, Jackson Ball, the young Tall Blacks player, twisting underneath and up and in.
And just great composure there from Jackson Ball, able to come down, see the defense help, floating through the air with the tough left-hand finish.
Oh, Jose.
I love this from the Hawke's Bay Hawks, and even though it's a great read there from Ethan Rusbatch, but really showing bodies. And I think if you're the Otago Nuggets, that's exactly what you have to do. Try slash into those open lanes of that zone.
Rasmussen hounded Jeter up high. Try to find it. I think it came off a defender's shoulder. Anyway, Nuggets have it. Louis. Rusbatch, up fake. Jacob Murphy almost got a piece of it. But Ethan Rusbatch, there it is. He's found his range. Look out.
Yeah, a hand is not going to bother Ethan Rusbatch, that's for sure. But I'm loving this physicality from the Otago Nuggets. They definitely have had a talk about that in the quarter break. They need to up it a wee bit. So they've definitely woken up a bit now.
Rasmussen's corner three. That's their first three of the game for the Nuggets. 1 for 8. Now the Hawke's Bay Hawks are 4 for 10 from deep.
and just not allowing the Hawke's Bay Hawks to get into the paint there for the Otago Nuggets. They're doing a really good job, and that is not a good sign. You cannot let Ethan Rusbatch get too many open looks shooting from three.
Rasmussen switched on Zach McKenzie rather, and deep as Jeter. He might have stepped out there. On the baseline he did. Chase Jeter. I don't think it really matters where he catches it down low, to be honest. He has got a bag of moves and footwork, but unfortunately it let him down there a little bit.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, rangy too, and also appears to have an incredibly long wingspan. So if he can get the slight step around, he's going to be able to extend and finish. But in that instance, you see the Otago Nuggets are looking to throw bodies and not allow him to stay one-on-one in that instance with Miller Jose.
Here is Miller Jose on the reverse, goes down, slides into the corporate table. Too much with another steal in the backcourt. Hawke's Bay Hawks.
Oh, Dan Greta.
Dan Greta. Back into it.
Guarding.
Too much. Lost the handle, he's fouled, that's why. Jeez, Dan Greta. Oh my goodness. No regard for self-preservation, Dan Greta.
I am telling you, if there is one person that will put their body in any position out in that basketball court, it is Dan Greta. Goes and tackles 3 seats, comes back, guards the ball, and then he was lining up that block as well. So my man Dan Greta is everywhere.
Great intensity. So after all that, it will be Nuggets ball. Cut to Paese. Too strong.
And we know Tata Paese can shoot that one. He just hasn't got it quite going yet. Struggled a wee bit in Rapid League. You know, the more touches he's going to get, the more comfortable he's going to feel out there.
Jackson Ball talking about a BNZ player timeout here. There's 5:54 to go in the second quarter. I wonder what the idea behind this is. That's an interesting move. Usually you see it towards the end of quarters. But Jackson Ball has taken the initiative here just to calm everything down. Now the 18-year-old is talking to his teammates, and you can get your ticket to the big game for sports groups, school groups, community groups through that QR code, all thanks to the BNZ player timeout. The ticket to the big game for your community is available.
Yeah, I think maybe what Jackson Ball's seen then is the Hawke's Bay Hawks had back-to-back possessions where they had really struggled with that extended pressure. So just a bit of a reset, allowing them to get the ball up there early.
It's a vet move from an 18-year-old.
It really is. It really is, and that's a tough finish from Rasmussen, but impressive for, like you say, the 18-year-old to have that awareness and see that. And if they can get a stop here, man, it could be a bit of a masterstroke.
I realise I've mainly said he's 18 years old about half a dozen times already, but he really is the future of Tall Blacks basketball in this country. Ethan Rusbatch is fouled on the drive. Ferguson's called for it.
Yeah, it looks like McLaughlin doesn't agree with that one, but Ethan Rusbatch, obviously you have to respect his three-point shot, but he's able to use the up fake and slash into the rim too.
Jackson Ball off to college.
University of Wisconsin.
Hayden Jones, your old teammate, who's already there.
Back in the country at the moment.
Oh, he's back, is he, in the off-season?
Just dotted down back into Nelson. He's been, I know he's been training with the Giants, trying to get some extra reps in, and believe he's suited up with his old man for the Waimea Knight Riders in the local comp as well.
Oh, what an absolute nightmare that would be, trying to face those two.
Oh, honestly.
How's Phil going? Can he still give a bucket?
Yeah, he can still give a bucket. I mean, the hip starts to play up after about 3 or 4 minutes, but man, those 3 or 4 minutes, they are dynamic.
I'd love to see the progression of Hayden Jones's game after having a college experience at Wisconsin. Big program as well. And obviously Jackson Ball going there. That is a bright future for those two players.
Yeah, it really is, and they've had a lot of success at the international level too, representing New Zealand age group sides to see but 2 semi-final appearances over their time. So man, New Zealand basketball's in a good place right now.
So shout out Charlie Sledger-Walker getting her first bucket in the WNBA for the Connecticut Suns against The New York Liberty stacks Sabrina Ionescu, among others. There's a tough team to play, but congratulations to the Ledger Walker family. That is great to see Charlize get a taste of her first regular season points.
And just how good for women's basketball in this country to see someone like Charlize be in that mix and be, I'll tell you what, social media presence is seriously strong. He has a bit of a following now too, which is great to see, you know, a Kiwi doing it big over in the States too.
Absolutely. She's got her own YouTube channel, regularly updates it through her UCLA Bruins experience, of course, national championship, multiple teammates drafted. Last month is Greta gets to the cup and puts it in. He's got 6 points, 5 rebounds now.
Yeah, that's the thing with Dan Greta. If he starts to come off any type of dribble handoff, you have to show bodies. If he gets a step on you, he is going to finish it. Ooh, not a bad look there from Miller Jose.
Yeah, nice cut. I think it came off Rasmussen. Just got a hand to it.
Yeah, and Louis is going to be trying to do that. He's a guy that he's not really going to look to shoot too much from outside, but he's a guy that's going to be trying to slash, get downhill. In that instance, a good weak cut.
That one's off. Greta almost got the rebound. Rasmussen with it. Nuggets get back. Ball to Greta, down low, projected by Miller Jose. Here comes Louis. To the cuff and one. Alain Louis, and that is good for the Nuggets. Get the stop, push it, and get the three-point play opportunity.
Yeah, great job there. Looks like Tuach with the finish, but what a move, and what a block also from Miller Jose. Jackson Ball with another incredible pocket pass, but Miller Jose getting the better of Greta on that occasion, and the Otago Nuggets getting out and running, which is they've had success in that part of their game.
Excellent work for Louis. Just updating the Connecticut Sun Liberty game. It was unfortunately, it was a big loss for Charlize Ledger Walker, but she got some good minutes, 21 minutes in the first regular season game of the new WNBA season. 24-year-old, 2 from 9 from the floor. And 36-28, Jackson Ball with the ball. Nuggets back in this one. We converted the three-point play opportunity. Ball in the corner. Rasmussen way off. Greta another rebound. That's 7 for him.
And averaging 10 rebounds a game too, is Jackson Ball with the run-off 3, it seemed like. But yeah, Dan Greta doing such a good job this season of attacking that offensive glass.
Louis. Oh, banks it in. Was looking at McKenzie, realized he was covered, and had the hang time to bump it off the glass and put it in.
Yeah, almost looked like he had nowhere to go, but man, had the presence of mind to just hold fire, float it in.
Ball. Rasmussen. Another miss. Good rebound. Louis to come into the game in the second quarter a little bit.
Yeah, a good look there from Rasmussen. You know, he's more than comfortable shooting that 3, especially in the corner, but, you know, another stop for the Otago Nuggets.
Ezra Eagle with the defense on Tuach. Over the top. Oh, gets his own rebound almost.
Yeah, he's seen that straight away, that was going to be straight glass. Nearly snuck in, but unfortunately slipped through the hands, off the knee, and it looks like we're going to have a timeout.
36-30, 2:39 to go. And Nuggets have taken this second quarter, 16-13. It's a good fight back by Raspach Tuach, Alain Louis. He's got his fingerprints on a good fight back, Jeff Sparrow. No, I think he burns as many calories as the players sideline. He is animated.
I'll tell you what,
he is a tout.
I was about to say, he is beating. Yeah. That man is absolutely beating. Hot right now like a large Nonna pizza.
There it is.
From Sal's, $35. Scan that QR code.
That is excellent segue into the deal from Sal's. That $35 large Nonna pizza. Just Sparrow into it. I love his energy sideline.
Yeah, the animation is definitely there, but you know, that's a big reason why this Otago Nuggets team has had such a great start to the season. Very connected, you know, a lot of their schemes and a lot of their things that they do. And they've pulled this game back just through their physicality. I think on the defensive end for a start, is trying to extend that pressure up the floor a wee bit and not making things easy for the Hawke's Bay Hawks, because it definitely was in that first quarter.
This is good for Will Lopez and the Hawks, though. They just need that timeout as well, because the Nuggets are coming here in the second quarter. Will Lopez, assistant with the Cairns Taipans in the Australian NBL last season. Comes to the Hawks. Tough start, 0 for 5. Rasmussen, another miss for Rasmussen. He's had it tough here in this first half. He's gone 3 for 8.
And the Otago Nuggets are really sinking in that zone and allowing the Hawke's Bay Hawks to shoot that three, but really over-helping, allowing, there's a corner open, but again, to throw that skip pass, it gives time, the Otago Nuggets time to retreat.
Oh, nice drive, Ezra Eagle.
Yeah, great job there from Eagle in terms of the seal was incredible too, but you know, Eagle able to get downhill, had a good rapid league outing, so it's good to see him making contributions in the NBL too.
Tuach. Rasmussen held his line and Ball has it. Looking for a 6th assist, is he? Or is he looking for a bucket? Off the glass, too strong. Rusbatch had it taken away by Ball. And have we got a foul? That might be waved off. Jackson Ball, we've got a whistle.
By looking at the expression on Jackson Ball's face, I think that might be, and it's looking like might be in the penalty, so the Otago Nuggets going to walk the length of the floor.
Oh, that's tough.
That is a tough pill to swallow. You know, Hawke's Bay, a couple of easy transition outbreaks, and then all of a sudden, Otago Nuggets going to get a chance to cut the lead lower as Dan Greeder giving a piece of his mind.
I was seeking clarification, perhaps.
Nah, he always respectful, Dan Greeder.
Always.
Yeah.
Rusbatch in and out. Yeah, got called there for the foul. Oh, Ball don't lie. Say Hawke's Bay Hawks fans, of course. Tough trip to the Chemist Warehouse strike for the Dr. Ethan Rusbatch. Here's Jackson Ball up high. 38-30. Four on the shot clock.
Great job there from McKenzie. Did a really good job staying in front of Ball, able to secure the rebound as Tuach straight downhill. Ball doesn't agree with that one either.
That's another foul on Jackson Ball. That's 2 now on him. But it's another reach in, and that is more shots coming for the Nuggets.
I'm loving the intent Tuach is playing with too. You know, after that first quarter, he's really made an effort to come out and get downhill. And you know, they've been able to turn the Hawke's Bay Hawks over a few times this quarter, and then Tuach has really spearheaded that transition attack back.
Tuach has got 7 in the game. Miller Joes also has 7. Ethan Rusbatch leads all scorers with 9 for the Nuggets. Tuach can't get that to go down. He's just a 63% foul shooter from the Chemist Warehouse line.
And it's like we talked about pre-game. This Otago Nuggets team do such a good job at getting to the line. However, their capitalization of those free throws isn't always consistent. Currently bottom of the league, so Tuach will be happy to see that one go down.
Hawks call timeout with 1:17 to go. It started out full of energy, this game. They put 23 in the first quarter, did the Hawks. The Nuggets defense, the best defense in the competition, coming into round 5 in points allowed. And they are holding the Hawks here. Just offense has been a struggle for them. Just 10 of 28, 35% from downtown. And part of the reason they are 1 for 12 from deep. More stats thanks to the Chemist Warehouse.
Yeah, Otago Nuggets are not known for their three-point shooting. However, the defensive intensity, like we talked about pre-game, has without a doubt started to pick up. But if I'm the Hawke's Bay Hawks, I'm trying to up the tempo a wee bit. Not necessarily try to get a quick shot, but just how they get the ball up the floor, I think, is going to set up their offense for success. So I think that's something they maybe need to look at and not allow that Otago Nuggets defense to get set like it is at the moment.
You just feel like this game with Chase Jeter getting his legs underneath him. First game, missed the first 5 with a calf injury for the Hawks. First game for the American in the Sal's NBL. Just feel like those fouls on him have kept him down a little bit. Jackson Ball puts Louis down. And good pressure out of the timeout. Then he'd get it over half court and just managed to. And Greeter on the reverse has it rimmed out. And look at him on the glass. And we've got a foul on the floor. It's Dan Greeter. Tommy Ferguson wants the vet to calm down.
Keep your kit on, Daniel. My goodness.
Former teammate from the Giants, Tom Ingham. As you say, he runs 100 miles an hour. He is into every game he plays.
Yeah,
Dan Greeter frustrated.
He absolutely is. And yeah, I've definitely seen that a few times without a doubt. But, you know, Greeter, I love the passion.
Ezra Eagle picked up the dribble, needs help. Good denial by Tuach on Ball, who eventually has it. 5 to shoot. Jackson Ball with a dime. Oh, what a look.
Jackson Ball has been incredible in pick and roll. You know, really looking for those rollers. Been super effective. His 6th assist of the game so far. Done such a good job at controlling the floor for this Hawke's Bay Hawks team.
McKenzie's fouled. He's taken a 2. Oh, foot on the line.
And Alonzo Burton, we disappointed with that one. You know, Zach McKenzie, he can without a doubt knock that shot down, but hasn't had too much success so far this game. So, you know, that's one Alonzo Burton probably wishes he could have back, because it gives Zach McKenzie a chance to get going at the line.
That is 3, excuse me. It's a tough foul. So McKenzie can't get the roll in the first one.
And this has been, we talked about the Achilles heel for this Otago Nuggets team. You know, their offensive numbers haven't been fantastic. However, with their ability to get to the free throw line, if they can capitalize down this end, man, that's a whole lot more points they can be adding to their current points per game.
Makes 2 of 3. Lead is 7. BNZ player timeout already taken by the Hawks midway through the second quarter. We're looking for clarification by Jeff Sparrow as to how to read this defense for his Nuggets, and that is good defense, but it's going to come off Nuggets' hand, and we're getting clarification, and it's going to end up with the Nuggets, or will it? One referee had it for Hawke's Bay, and another had it for Otago, and it is the visitors' ball.
Yeah, it looks like Hayden Pipe seemed like he had the angle from the sideline and made the adjustment. Dan Greeter not too happy about that one, but the Otago Nuggets continuing to show bodies in the lane.
They don't take the BNZ player timeout. They had plenty of time to burn. 17 seconds. Of course, they advance it shortest to 14 on the shot clock, so they don't take it, and they execute beautifully through McKenzie on the baseline.
Tough finish there from McKenzie.
Murphy with a runner to end the half. The Hawks in an arm wrestle with the Nuggets, the #1 defensive team in the league, against the bottom of the ladder. And the Hawks looking for their first win. They lead by 5 after one half. No mai hoki mai, the Hawks have a 5-point lead, 40-35. They're 0-5 in the Sal's NBL season in 2026. They're on the hunt for their first win at Rodney Green Arenas in front of the fan base that is just expecting more out of this team. And today they are getting it, Tom Ingham.
Yeah, without a doubt. Hawke's Bay Hawks had such a strong start to this game, especially in the first quarter. To see the Chemist Warehouse stats, an even spread right now. And I think the Hawke's Bay Hawks can take a lot out of that first half, but without a doubt, this Otago Nuggets team is starting to establish themselves too. Ethan Rusbach with 9 points and hasn't shot the ball particularly well yet, but we know he can get going. But Jackson Ball, man, that guy has been incredible creating for his teammates, especially off pick and roll. You see Louis there with 5 assists, and Miller Jose making his presence felt in a variety of different areas too. But a lot of contributions from bench players as well there too. See Dan Greta at 10 rebounds a game at the moment, already 8. Not particularly scoring the ball well compared to his normal standards, but man, is rebounding that rock well. And Zach McKenzie making great contributions for this Otago Nuggets team.
Well, for the Hawke's Bay Hawks, you just have to look at the way their season has been as we scroll through the stats, all thanks to the Chemist Warehouse. They had a 2-point loss to the Tuatara. They lost by 9 to the Rams. They lost by 7 to the Jets. They lost by 9 to the Airs, and they lost by 6 to the Phi. They've been in games. They just haven't been able to close it out.
Well, it's one of those things too that if your imports aren't there for starters and it's hard to get a wee bit of continuity early, this can happen. However, I'm expecting this Hawks team to bounce back.
Conversely, the Otago Nuggets coming into round 5 with the top of the table, and that's been taken off them early this afternoon when the Rams beat the Phi by 20. But it is the second place Nuggets who are in a bit of a dogfight. They hold teams to the lowest scoring average in the Sal's NBL for the season, and they're in a real trench warfare kind of game at the moment against the Hawks. We'll find out who's got the mettle to survive it in the second half coming up after the break. Welcome back, 40-35. Hawks over the Nuggets. Been an arm wrestle. Both teams dialed in defensively. You'll always get that from this version early on in the season for the Nuggets. And the Hawks, they know their identity. We were just talking about identity for teams off mic there, Tom Ingham. And the Hawks will be happy that they've got Chase Jeter, their big import, and he has picked up 2 early fouls and finding his legs, of course. But the Nuggets need to find an identity on offense.
Yeah, absolutely. See, right there, Miller Jose, when the Nuggets do get out running and start to look to attack the rim a wee bit, they look effective. We see Jeter right there. He might be the piece that this Hawke's Bay team is missing. But I think for sure the Otago Nuggets certainly have an identity on defense. But I think that aggressiveness on offense, they've been effective with it. You see like there with Tuach trying to get downhill, attack, out in transition is looking great.
There are levels to this game, and boy, Tuach plays at some of the highest in the NZNBL, that is for sure. Sweeping in there for a finish. And I'll need more of that here in the second half. The Nuggets are ready to go. The Hawks walking out onto the floor. And not a lot has changed since we put that up before the game started. The Nuggets still tightly contested with the Hawks, who have just gone ahead of them in the favoritism through that QR code as to who you think will win this game. But the Hawks at 0-5, that is something that they'll take heart from if they can get a win here. They feel more comfortable. They've been in games in those 5 losses. They just haven't been able to close a win out.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things too, in terms of when you go on a bit of a losing streak, all you need is just one to get that monkey off the back and then start firing. So it might just take one game for this Hawke's Bay team to all of a sudden be back in that middle of the table pack and competing for that top 6 spot.
I'm just waiting for official confirmation from the scorers bench to get this game underway for the Hawks. You see the keys to winning this game. You've got Chase Jeter out there, Ferguson, 2 big bodies. And Jackson Ball's been really good with the ball.
Yeah, he really has been. He's been, I think continuing to get Jeter involved in pick and roll, McLaughlin involved in pick and roll is going to be really powerful for this team. And what I would like to see is a large nod of pizza on my front doorstep at the end of this broadcast. $35, scan that QR code right now.
Excellent segue. Zach McKenzie, young man, waiting for official confirmation that we can get the halftime break over and done with, and we can get our third quarter underway. Both teams eager to get underway as well. Carry the momentum forward into the second half with Louis. Mike Henn, nice cut from Tuach. The kick to Rusbatch, close out on him by Greed is good. Tuach defended well by Rasmussen. Boy, Tuach off the bounce. Missed everything, and it will be Hawke's Bay ball.
Great defensive position there by the Hawke's Bay Hawks, making sure they close out on guys like Ethan Rusbatch, and then you're happy with a contested 3 there by Boy Tuach.
Not a consistent 3-point shooter as Tuach for volume, and he pulls down the Greed to miss. Tuach back to Rusbatch. He misses everything as well. Another good contest by the Hawks.
Yeah, both teams struggling to shoot the ball at the moment, and right now it'd be good to see if they can try to get back in the paint, but it is hard because both teams are really packing it in at the moment.
Coverage on the on-ball with Ball and Jeter by the Nuggets. And not Chase Jeter just ran into McKenzie. And that is the third offensive foul on Chase Jeter in this game.
And it's like we often talk about when a new import comes into the league, it does take a bit of time to just understand how things work, and we often see bigs in particular struggle with a wee bit of foul trouble. We'll see right there, Zach McKenzie does a good job at staying in front. It almost looked like a bit of a bow to the dome in that instance.
Yeah, take a look on the replay here. He just read it really nicely. Yeah, took one right on the head there. Tough kid still out there. And now it's Hen. Gets around Jackson Ball. They want the hook. Did he catch his air ball miss? Doesn't matter. He puts it up and in.
Why not? Throws it clean over the rim, catches it himself, and a tough finish. Maybe a wee bit of a hook there, but man, if the Otago Nuggets, you take the 2 points.
Absolutely. They had the Hawke's Bay Hawks bench up on their feet as Jeter goes underneath. Hen on him. And Hen is called for the foul. He can't quite believe it. Chase Jeter talking with Greeter about where he needs to be.
Yeah.
And Mike Hen and Ethan Rusbat calming down Hen and the referee.
Yeah, Hen doing a pretty good job there for a start. I think maybe just collapsed a wee bit with Jeter's second or third move in that instance, but I loved it. Loved the reaction.
Just Jeter misses the first. Just love guys like Ethan Rusbach, who just plays at a level as Will Lopez looks on. Just a good read of the game, Ethan Rusbach. He's got a calm demeanour.
Yeah, certainly has fun while he's doing it, that's for sure.
4-point lead now for the Hawks.
Bit of extended zone pressure for a start, trying to slow the Otago Nuggets down a wee bit, and then sitting back in that zone, the Hawke's Bay Hawks right now.
Louis, just everything's tough at the moment. With Tuach, makes it look so easy though with the left.
Great finish there from Tuach, gets down the lane, sees the contest there from Jeter, able to switch to his left hand. Love that move from Tuach.
Greeter knocks down the three and the Nuggets lost him, and he makes them pay.
And the old fist clenched right there. Greeter pumped about that one. He'll be happy to see that one go down.
Dan Greeter, that's his first three of the game. He's 1 for 4 as Mike Hen answers the American.
And that's a great sign for the Otago Nuggets. Were 1 of 14 before that three, now bumped up into double digits in terms of a percentage.
Born in Kirkland, Washington. Mike Hen. Kirkland, isn't that the Costco brand? Anyway, the house brand, but Mike Hen knocking down, by my account, not an off-brand three. They need more out of their three scorers, and if you can get Tuach and Hen operating, it's going to stretch the defense of the Hawks. Chase Jeter with a tough catch amongst 3 defenders.
It's a nice target to have. My goodness, just, you know, threw his hand up there, all the traffic in the world, and a great find there by Greeter.
At 0-5, your season's not over by any stretch to start a Sal's NBL season, but it certainly makes life tough as Hen strokes another 3.
That's a great sign there from the Otago Nuggets if they can keep going. And Hen, you know, like you said, hasn't shot the ball too great to start this season, but already starting to get going.
Back to Rasmussen. He started hot, missed another, gets his own board and fires it around and out of bounds. Yeah, Mike Hen just 24% from 3, but he's gone bang bang here.
And very timely threes for the Otago Nuggets. Often the team that comes out at the start of the third quarter, it can dictate a lot of how the game flows. The Otago Nuggets have come out strong to start this third quarter.
Well, they have the possession, Tom Ingham, Caleb Smiler in the game to take their first lead of the game. Smiler. Rusbach.
That's a great look.
Ball to Jeter. Can't get it. Don't pick up another foul, Chase. He goes down. Nuggets ball. Another opportunity for the lead. Here's Hen. Tuach. And one. Boy, Tuach. Nuggets take the lead. And Tuach will go to the Chemist Warehouse stripe for an and one.
And all of a sudden, this game was being played at a relatively slow pace with both teams kind of sitting in zone and packed defenses. And we've just started running. Some threes are starting to drop. So the Otago Nuggets right now being a beneficiary of this. So Hawke's Bay need to regroup and rebuild, come back.
Misses it. Gets his own rebound. I don't think, did they realize that it was an and one? I'm not sure. Anyway, they haven't. He had three guys around the lane, and he gets his own board as he gets it back. What is going on? Here comes Greeter.
Right now.
It is. Oh no. Is that a foul on Jeter, or is it a flop on the Nuggets?
No, it looks like Hen.
Yeah, it looks like a foul on Mike Hen. Mike Hen's picked up his third here.
Yeah, because the Hawke's Bay Hawks, they certainly can't afford too much more foul trouble. Just one we missed over the break. Alonzo Burton, 4 fouls.
Yeah, in
just
8 minutes.
8 minutes of play.
I don't think it's a record, but it's pretty close if he fouls out. As Rasmussen finally gets it to work closer to the hoop, and he ties it back up at 47.
And that's great there from Rasmussen. To see one go through the hoop, good that he's trying to slash and get to the cup. It's a great job there.
Louis gets to the cup, and that's what you want to see if you're a Nuggets fan. Alain Louis making the defense break. Another foul on the Hawks here. Louis will shoot 2.
And Louis does such a good job at getting downhill. And, you know, but this Otago Nuggets team, especially if the Hawke's Bay Hawks defense starts to open up a wee bit, Louis needs to really start dictating terms in terms of turning the corner, trying to get feet into the paint, because that's going to open up for shooters such as Hen, as we've already seen, knocking down a couple, and then Ethan Rusbatch as well. However, that Achilles heel strikes again.
Now they're 12 of 20, the Nuggets. They are the worst free throw shooting team in the league.
Otago Nuggets have shot 21 free throws in comparison with Hawke's Bay Hawks 5.
And that was the other way around in the Rapid League. They were just 3 of 3 with the Nuggets in Rapid League. And Hawke's Bay had a huge advantage from the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Timeout called, 48-47. And this is good from Jess Sparrow and the Nuggets to come out at half-time here and really start to put it together offensively. It's a 12-7 advantage in the third quarter for the Nuggets. But he's getting production out of everybody.
Yeah, absolutely he is. And I think it was really important. You know, the Otago Nuggets, if you look back to the start of the game, they started a wee bit sluggish, but that defensive energy has started to pick up. But what I've really liked to see is the likes of Tuach and then Louis starting to attack the hoop, be aggressive, and then that started to open up things for Hen, and then that will open up for Rusbatch there. But I think important guys like Rasmussen, Greeter need to continue to look to try put the pressure on the basket and try to slice up this Otago Nugget zone a wee bit, because they're starting to interchange between man and zone. So if you're the Hawke's Bay Hawks, you have to stay pedal to the middle, because that was how you were so successful in that first quarter.
I just checked, and Costco is from Kirkland, Washington, before they moved to headquarters. That's where Mike Hen was born.
There you go.
I'm not sure if he was born in the Costco, but he's come out firing here. 10 points in the game for Mike Hen. Nice addition for the Nuggets. He's played professionally in Japan and Indonesia. Played him for UC Davis, Cal Baptist, Portland, and finally Denver in his collegiate career. 28-year-old. Now he finds himself getting backed down by Ferguson, who puts up a nice left-hand hook.
McLaughlin,
McLaughlin.
He's so good with that left hand. You know, you got to make sure that you can't allow him. But again, it's so hard because he is so rangy and he gets to that really comfortably.
That's 10 points for Jeremy McLaughlin. There's Louis. Miller-Joes gets ball to bite. Goes at McLaughlin, who saves it right to Hen. And Hen finishes at the rim strongly.
Yeah, a great job there. But then again, the Hawke's Bay Hawks, it's one of those things, able to secure the rebound, but then a careless turnover, which is something they cannot afford if they want to start taking the league back in this game.
McLaughlin looking to back down Hen again. McLaughlin sees the double from Smiler, saves it nicely. Now it's Jeter, time winding down, fall away. Hen, Rasmussen took a Mike Hen elbow on the contest for the rebound. Miller-Joes rather. Chase Jeter just stayed down and managed not to pick up a foul, and then Miller-Joes steps into the passing lane.
Yeah, both teams right now just being a wee bit careless with the ball. It's starting to get a wee bit frantic. So although the teams want to stay upbeat, as we see the foul drawn there, you want to make sure you keep moving the rock, making sure we're making great decisions.
Jackson Ball took one to the chops. And he's checking his jaw. And Hawke's Bay Hawks collapsed on that drive. And good production from those three, Smiler, Miller-Joes and Tuach.
Yeah, been really impressed with Miller-Joes and what he's brought to this game in terms of his energy, running the lanes, but then also on the defensive end too. I think he's done a great job. You know, guys like Jeter, big bodies, but able to, you know, ensure that he's there on help, and then when he's left one-on-one on an island, he's been productive too.
Mike Hen makes the first.
Yeah, and Hen's come to life a wee bit in this second half too, which has been a welcome sight, and probably a big reason as to why this Otago Nuggets team has taken back the lead in this game.
Mike Hen, 12 points coming into that visit now, and leaves with 14 to the Chemist Warehouse strike. 52-49. Zoe Burden and his 4 fouls out there for the Hawks.
And you see the Otago Nuggets starting to extend that pressure a wee bit. There's Lonzo Burden.
Oh, crafty.
The wily old veteran down the lane with the wee dump off. Good to see him make his mark on this game.
Doesn't even dap up McLaughlin on the way back.
Yeah, come on, man, that's cold. That is cold.
McKenzie. Rasmussen with the board. All the way to the baseline and kicks it out to Zoe Burden. McLaughlin with the handoff. Ball. Nice work by Tommy Ferguson. That's a good body to have for Tom Ferguson and the Hawke's Bay Hawks down low. And another foul called on the Otago Nuggets.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Tommy Ferguson in terms of how he's come in and made these contributions to this game. Physical body, able to get a nice few offensive rebounds, and then showing the touch as well.
That's the first. 5 points for Ferguson off the bench. As you said earlier, really stepping into that starting 5 for Will Lopez and the Hawks, with Chase Jeter out with that calf injury in those first 5 games. And he's been on the Hawks for a while now, part of that Rapid League setup. Kobe Carter, Jacob Murphy, Ezra Eagle, core of that team. Jackson Ball was the core of it last year as well.
Now thriving on the NBL stage as well.
McKenzie, quick first step. Ferguson all over him. And got all of them. Picks up his first foul.
Now, I think for a moment there, McKenzie maybe thought that he wasn't going to be rewarded for the attack, but again, great rip from him, able to draw the contact. And I like it when Zach McKenzie continues to be aggressive to the hoop, because, you know, he's rangy, he's athletic, and generates more offense getting to the cup for this Otago Nuggets team.
McKenzie for this trip, 6 points, 4 rebounds in 19 minutes of basketball. Gets the roll on the second. I thought the Nuggets just don't line up. That seems to be a feature. I don't know if it's a tactic, I know, but they just trusted the fact that he was going to make it.
It's interesting because it doesn't really match up with logic statistically in terms of not offering some offensive rebounders, but again, if it's their strategy, that's what they're running.
Well, we saw an and one where Boy Toach missed his and one opportunity, grabbed a rebound amongst 3 Hawks.
Maybe that's the plan. Rely on the shooter. You'll get it done.
Meanwhile, it's Rasmussen going at Hen with a quick move. Good defense from Hen, though, and Rasmussen gets it back.
Yeah, he's really forcing the issue, Rasmussen, trying to get it going. I love the attacks, so hopefully one can drop for him soon.
Oh, Jackson Ball going left, finishing with the right.
Yeah, just classy from Jackson Ball. You know, again, plays so much older than his age actually is because...
He's 18.
18, as we know, he is 18 years of age, and that man, able to rip there, and like you say, going back to his right, but just plays with so much composure, and he's a pleasure to watch hoop.
This has been an arm wrestle. It's been good, though. It's been frantic for these two paced teams in this third quarter. The Nuggets have come out here in the third and have really adjusted nicely offensively.
Yeah, I think so. In terms of, it just comes down to, I think, them attacking, trying to be aggressive. Sometimes you can get a bit guilty of moving the ball side to side without no real intent to attack the cup. So I think that's been the change for the Otago Nuggets this quarter.
Rusbatch curling. Tuach, what a tip-in.
And Tuach for a guard, although very tall for a guard, he does such a good job at crashing the glass. So in that instance, able to get the tip-in, but making great contributions in this game. It's half finish from Rasmussen.
Keanu Rasmussen now 5 of 13. And if he gets going as we come into last minute and a half of the third quarter, danger for the Nuggets here. Hen has it stuffed by Jeter. Welcome to the Sal's NBL, Chase Jeter.
And that's what he gives this Hawke's Bay Hawks team. He's a presence down low. See right there, wants the ball back. Here we go, one-on-one, back at him.
Ward, the big man, can't get the bounce. Nuggets can take the lead back on a 3. Tuach hit as he drove, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Tuach is having a lot of success in transition, getting the ball, getting downhill. So if you're the Hawke's Bay Hawks, you have to show bodies and not allow him to just skip into the paint like he's been doing over these last couple of quarters.
Night and day, Otago Nuggets. Boy, Tuach at the line, looking more aggressive in this third quarter. 14 points before this trip in the game, left it short. Just one Nugget to line up.
They really must be going for it here.
63 seconds, subs on the make to go in this third quarter. Ezra Eagle would spell Ferguson. Jeter fouled. And there'll be shots coming up for Chase Jeter. It's a tough one near the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Caleb Smiler did a good job chasing, but just one of those ones when you have the help side, you have to shirt tail your man a wee bit. In that instance, runs straight into Jeter, and this will be a welcome sight for Jeter to try get to the free throw line, try get his touch going, see a couple going, and hopefully build for him and the Hawke's Bay Hawks build onto a big fourth quarter.
Chase Jeter at the line. Makes the first. He's now 2 of 3. 7 points, 3 of 10 shooting. 3 personal fouls. 4 rebounds. 5 turnovers. Those offensive fouls can sting you.
Yeah, they really can. And I mean, the Otago Nuggets have done a pretty good job at just staying strong because Jeter, big body and rangy as well. So they've done a good job of ensuring that he can't get too many easy touches.
Rusbatch stepping through.
With a grin on his face too, as he always does, Ethan Rusbatch, but just staying with the process and then tough wee finish.
Final 30 seconds of the third. Jeter up high. Ah, too much mustard on that for Jeter.
And it's the right idea there, you see, in terms of Rasmussen reading that he was being top blocked, able to make that back cut, but in that instance, Jeter just not quite able to execute that pass.
Louis will just wind the clock down to end the third here. Rasmussen on him. Gets it back, does Louis. Swatted away by Jeter. That will be Nuggets ball. Another Joe's crashing the glass.
My goodness, I tell you what, if you're going to go up against Jeter, you've got to be going up strong, trying to stuff that thing through the rim, because if you go any sort of weak, he is going to send that thing into next week.
.59. Timeout called. This is evenly poised. This really plays into the hands of the Nuggets, though. They will grind teams down in 2026. And their main contributors are starting to find their groove here in the third quarter as it comes to a close.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with this Otago Nuggets team, as the game gets into that fourth quarter, it probably does favour them, because the pace starts to slow down a wee bit, which is where this Otago Nuggets team thrives, when they're able to get their defence set, get the ball moving through hands. So if you're the Hawke's Bay Hawks, you've got to try start finding some momentum as you go into this fourth quarter.
Nuggets. What have they got out of this timeout to end the third? The got steers to Miller Joes, and Greta just knocks it away. And that's the third quarter. Nice defense from the Hawks. And they have a 1-point lead, hunting their first win of the season. Against the Otago Nuggets, they lead 60-59. Welcome back, everybody. No mai hoki mai. 60-59, Tom Ingham. This game is evenly poised. What are the keys to winning for these two teams in the last 10 minutes?
Well, I think the big thing is going to be both of these teams who can live up to their identity. Can the Otago Nuggets stay connected in terms of really applying that defensive pressure and slowing the Hawke's Bay Hawks down? And if you're the Hawke's Bay Hawks, I'd like to see a bit more intent and aggression on offense, especially through dribble drive penetration. So we'll see who can bring it.
Here we go. Hawks with the ball, Jeter. First game as a Hawk. This is the first fight through injury. Spinning, gets the roll. Chase Jeter opens the scoring in the fourth quarter for the Hawks.
Great job there by Jeter. Straight away they see that they're in the zone, they get to that high post, and it's good to see him on the front foot trying to attack Miller Jose in that instance.
Tuach. McKenzie. That three is off. Nuggets shooting an abysmal 3 of 20 from the line. Hawks, not much better until that one went, and now 5 of 19.
And that'll be a very welcome sight for Dan Greeder as well. Just with his 10th rebound and then to see his second three go down in the night, another double-double for him.
To be fair, the Nuggets have the worst three-point shooting rate in the league at just 11%, 31% rather, 11th, and it's last in the Sal's NBL. Chase Jeter has it knocked away, regathers, still 12 on the shot clock. McLaughlin. No, that's a long two. Jeremy McLaughlin knocking it down, 14 points for him, timeout for the Nuggets. And just like that, the Hawks have put an 8-0 run on the Nuggets.
And straight away, a couple threes obviously can swing the game at any stage, but I'm just loving seeing the Hawke's Bay Hawks just a bit more intent in terms of how they push the ball from the get-go. So in terms of the Otago Nuggets, I think they'll be coming out of this timeout, and even though they can be in their zone, just try to extend the pressure and get up and in and make the Hawke's Bay Hawks' life uncomfortable. But I tell you what's not uncomfortable, Miles, is a large Nonna pizza from Sal's, 35 bucks. Scan the QR code right there.
Tom Ingham, former Nelson Giant, you're 4 for 4 in segues tonight.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
It's great to have you in the booth. What a game we have on our hands here. 68-59. Hawks have just come out and just given a swift 1-2 to the Nuggets' jaw. How do they respond out of this timeout?
Yeah, well, I think the Otago Nuggets, I would like to see, for starters, in terms of they were successful when the ball was going side to side, but again, trying to turn the corner with some intent. I think they can really put some pressure on this Hawke's Bay defensive unit. But then defensively, I want to see the intensity lift for the Otago Nuggets. When they did that, they looked fantastic. They made Hawke's Bay really uncomfortable, turning the ball over a lot. So I think it just comes down to intent and intensity.
Almost got underway. Chase Jeter's done well. He hasn't conceded another foul since the first half.
And is making his presence felt in that defensive end too. That's a genuine shot blocking threat for the Hawke's Bay Hawks.
Yeah, he's got 2 blocks. Big blocks as well. Tuach couldn't catch it and gets it back as Zoe Burden broke it up. Rusbatch. It's blocked by Dan Greeder.
And he loves it too, Greeds, getting in and around his teammates. But I love that from Ethan Rusbatch, trying to get downhill. They're obviously not going to let him shoot the three, but it's good to see him have that intent on the rim. But great job from the Hawke's Bay Hawks to swarm him, not making it easy.
Just 6 turnovers for the Nuggets in this game. It's a stat that we'll be proud of, but they need to reel in this 9-point lead. An 8-0 run by the Hawks here to open the fourth. Rusbatch, empty. Oh, Miller Joes. Tough fall, saved it. That's a big man diving out of baseline.
Yeah, great job there from Isaac Miller-Jose, able to save that. And in terms of going back to your point about the turnovers, Miles, the Otago Nuggets, they look after the ball better than any team in the league. So it's something that they pride themselves on. Even though the pace isn't as quick, they certainly look after the ball.
Rusbatch up high, 8 seconds, Tuach. Over Burton, who's on 4 fouls. Cheetah with a rebound.
Great job there from Alonzo Burton to play Tuach. Hard task in that mid-post, but able to not foul and get a good contest.
Louis fronting Jeter on the post. His ball just bodies Miller Joes out of the way on the drive.
Like it was nothing too, with that cross left to right. He does such a good job at using his body and then getting that separation to finish over bigger defenders.
Hen in a nice third quarter. Jeter closed that space real quick.
Yeah, that is a rangy dude, so it's really tough to get a shot up when he's contesting.
Burden. Burden again on the drive. Miller Joes all over him. Ball, deep three. Louis with the rebound. Alain Louis. Is it to Hen who gets it back? Rusbatch, deep three. Greta was all over him, it doesn't matter.
And that's all it takes from Ethan Rusbatch, and that is a great sign for the Otago Nuggets. And I think the more action they can try to get where it's moving with Rusbatch coming off, it draws attention. It can allow guys like Louis to get downhill also.
Took 3 minutes, 15 seconds of the fourth to get their first bucket. Oh, McLaughlin. Another strong hook. He's got a bag, Jeremy McLaughlin.
Yeah, I tell you what, that's a tough shot. You know, he's so confident shooting that left-hand floater and creates so much separation with his body and length as well. It's a great finish from Tuach.
That was a 10-point lead for the Hawks. Now it's cut to 8 on that Tuach drive.
Really swinging back and forth between these two teams here. It's just waiting for one team to take control. Hawke's Bay looking like they've got the foot on the throat a wee bit at the moment, but they have to be able to keep it there to get on top of this game.
Jeter finds McLaughlin, who goes back-to-back on the buckets.
And that high-low action for the Hawke's Bay Hawks is something I think in zone they can be really effective using Jeter as a passer as well as McLaughlin. So good to see. And Alonzo Burton starting to amp up the pressure a wee bit, which is cool to see.
Rusbatch. Joes gets the defense to bite. And one. Isaac Miller-Joes for the Nuggets.
It's a great finish from Isaac Miller-Joes. You know, Jeter probably not quite missing the scout there, knowing that Miller-Joes is more than likely going to up fake and try to go strong to the cup. Gets Jeter to bite, and that is a tough finish off 2 feet.
Isaac Miller-Joes played for the Saints. He's played for the Jets most recently. He also played for the Auckland Huskies. Spent 5 years at a basketball scholarship at Manitoba University in Canada. Played in the NBL 1 in Australia as well. And he's having a great season for the Nuggets here. Here's Greta, tied up by Ethan Rusbatch. Big collision between those two.
And no doubt they're mates as well, so they'll be having a good laugh about that one. But great job there from Greta, seeing the Nuggets starting to extend that pressure just a wee bit. They don't want to allow that high-low action between McLaughlin and Jeter, and then Greta able to be the beneficiary of a back cut there.
Yeah, nice to see those two come together and acknowledge the foul. With the Rusbatch flexing on somebody. Just bodying up again, Ethan Rusbatch.
And give him a bit of feedback there as well. Why not?
All right, Tasman Canterbury West Coast scandal applied to help get a hoop at your school as well. All thanks to the Hoops in Schools program. Basketball New Zealand powered by the people at the Chemist Warehouse as well. Now here is Rusbatch. Louis. And that's a Greta foul.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. That's a tough one to call. That could go either way.
Yeah, I think personally that's just one of those ones where you just got to let them play. You know, Greta does a good job sliding, hands on the attack. I think there's not too much in that one. Just let the guys keep going.
Louis with the baseline ball. Jeremy McLaughlin is your leading scorers. Rusbatch lost it amongst 4 Hawks. McLaughlin's got 19.
Yeah, it's been so good with that left-hand floater, and that's something I think teams will know, but it's just a thing that you can scout, but ultimately you can't stop.
Here's Greta, he's got 12 rebounds. Jeter on the elbow. Back in downhand, finds Rasmussen. Puts it in as the shot clock was about to expire.
And tough slash there from Rasmussen, seeing the Nuggets were packing right in, seeing the last wee slash, and that is a tough finish.
Alain Louis takes him to the cup, and that's a tough finish.
And that's what the Otago Nuggets have got to keep doing. They cannot be stationary out there. I think keep putting the pressure on the Hawke's Bay Hawks. Louis is so effective at doing that.
5 points for him, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. McLaughlin wants it. with McKenzie on him. Goes to that left hand. Chase Jeter between two Nuggets. And it comes off Miller-Joes. Tough to keep off the glass is Chase Jeter on the weak side.
Yeah, he absolutely is. Just being so rangy, you got to make sure in that instance he had two guys there. I think you just got to put double bodies on him and try to push him out of the lane. But again, easier said than done.
Good minutes by Zoe Burden to spell Jackson Ball here in the fourth. He's back in the game with the ball. As we come down the stretch here in the fourth quarter, Chase Jeter. Shot clock winding down. Ball. McKenzie all over him. Good defense, but it's Rasmussen with the desire to get that O-board. Hawke's Bay have another possession.
And that's crucial at this stage of the game. How many second chance opportunities can you get? Now they have to capitalise.
Coughlin. 12th offensive rebound for Hawke's Bay. Looking for their first win of the season. Mike Henn has it whacked out of his hands by Chase Jeter.
Now, Chase Jeter, I'll tell you what, he is everywhere down low and able to get back in that instance. A great lane run from Henn in that instance, but ultimately, Jeter, too big.
Both teams had their BNZ player timeouts available, 3:33 to go. Down 8 other Nuggets. Louis with the ball. Left hand finish. Alain Louis. Beautiful. Born in Haiti, Canadian passport, finishing nicely down the stretch for the Nuggets here, and it's a 6-point Hawks lead. We want to talk about it.
Yeah, and a great job there again from Louis at getting downhill. I think if he's going to have the ball in his hand and the Hawke's Bay Hawks are going to be sitting in a deep drop with their two bigs, he needs to absolutely keep trying to challenge that, get all the way to the cup, and then that will start opening things up from the outside. But all of a sudden, this game's starting to get a wee bit closer. We'll come down to a nut. It would be a nice wee 3-minute patch here to go.
All stats thanks to the Chemist Warehouse, the official stats partner of the Sal's NBL. Nuggets shooting just 38% in this game so far. Hawke's Bay 47%. It's been tough from deep. 4 of 21 for the Nuggets. 6 of 23 for the Hawks. A +8 rebound advantage for Hawke's Bay. 19 assists on those 31 makes. Just the 7 turnovers, as you said, Tom Ingham, former Nelson Giant. Very good at looking after the ball are the Otago Nuggets in 2026.
Yeah, they absolutely are. And I mean, this Hawke's Bay Hawks team hasn't done too bad job with those 12 turnovers, but I think down the stretch here, the Otago Nuggets, I would like to see them continue to attack the hoop, because sometimes, because they look after the ball so well, they can get a bit guilty of just going from side to side, being a wee bit passive. So let's see if they can turn it up this last wee bit.
Here's Ball with the ball. Jeter with the on ball. Lachlan. Greta switched on by Henn, and Dan Greta just takes him to the cup and lays it up and in.
Looked like he wanted the contact there too, Dan Greta, but a great job. He's really turned it up in the second half in terms of his scoring, and he's got the rebounding to boot too.
Hawke's Bay looking for their first win in 2026. Nuggets looking to reclaim the top spot on the ladder over the Canterbury Rams. And we've got a push on Rasmussen.
Not a bad foul there from Rasmussen. It doesn't look like either of the teams are really flirting with the penalty too early yet. Hawke's Bay up to 3 fouls, the Otago Nuggets on 1. So
it might come into play though if they've only got 1 team foul. It starts to get a little bit dicey near the end for them.
You're exactly right, Miles. Obviously, so in terms of the answer for that, they need to start to really pick that defense up, physicality a wee bit. If they do give up a foul, such is life. May as well do it now.
Well, McKenzie has 3 fouls. He's out there. No one else out there as they get a bucket as well. No one else has more than 3. Mike Henn has 3. Louis has 0. Rusvach and Miller-Joes have 2. Can they get stops? They're the best defensive team in the league so far. McKenzie on the switch to Greta. Rasmussen, 5 on the shot clock. They go to Chase Jeter. First game as a Hawk. Puts it up, left it short. Miller-Joes with the board. Louis looking to push. It's Tuach right in the corner. Drops it off for Miller-Joes, and he's fouled. 4th team foul for the Hawks.
And that's one of those ones there when you got Louis coming downhill. I think Jeter did a good job at originally slowing him down and walling up, but then took that step away as Miller-Jose ran down the lane. So for starters, I'd like to see the Hawke's Bay Hawks show bodies and not allow Louis to get downhill and then get out to shooters after that. Obviously bearing aware of Ethan Rusbatch out there.
Looked like he took a knock to the hand, perhaps, Miller-Jose, in that shot attempt, and he left it hard. It rims in and out. 2:01 to go in the game.
And still, they're well above their free throw percentage in terms of for the year, but currently sitting at around 65% for this game so far. So that's still not good enough in order to try and get a win for this team.
It's a 5-point game for the Hawks now. 2 minutes to go. Jackson Ball. Can he lead the Hawks to their first win of the season? Something that they've been building towards. They've had their opportunities. All losses have been single digits. There's a foul by the Nuggets, just their second team foul.
Yeah, I don't mind that one there from the Otago Nuggets. I'd obviously probably rather a little bit earlier in the shot clock, but the fact that they're putting that physicality on, because like you said, Miles, there might come a point where they're going to need to be in the bonus pretty soon.
They really might need to stop the clock with 1:45 to go, down 5. They can't get stops here. Touch on Jackson Ball, operating with Jeter. McKenzie with the catch as he met Jeter and put it up, and it's just McLaughlin, who's had a great second half for the Hawks, on the glass, puts it up and in. And that is tough for the Nuggets there with 1:32 to go. They're down 7.
Yeah, and just so many timely buckets from McLaughlin. Every time the Hawks have need one, he's stepped up.
He's got 21. Louis gets to the cup and puts it in. Quick hit for the Nuggets. Makes it interesting again.
Perfect outcome there from the Nuggets. And again, Louis getting downhill. If you're the Hawke's Bay Hawks, you have to show bodies. You cannot allow him to get straight line drives.
Rasmussen working the clock. Jeter on the post. Oh, he missed it as McKenzie took a shot. Rusbatch, I should say, got all of Dan Greta. Dan Greta will go to the line to shoot 2 with 62 seconds to go. Dan Greta's been on that floor all over the place today. He's got blood coming out of his elbow.
I was about to say, you see the state of that elbow.
Yeah, you can see it just there. Blood's coming through that bandaging. So Dan Greta at the line. 14 points, 13 rebounds.
Yeah, quite a bit below that scoring average in terms of Dan Greta right now, but has just done such a good job at staying with it, even though it hasn't been the greatest shooting night, still doing all those little things, and as always, that energy is unmatched.
Jeremy McLaughlin has 21, he's the game's leading scorer. He's been fantastic. He's come into this game averaging 12 and a half. Greta knocks down both. And he's turned it into a 3-score game here. Under a minute to go. Nuggets need to go here. Hen pulls the trigger. Straight on 3. Bobbles around. And the Hawks have it. And they can hang on here if they just work the clock. It's Ball and McKenzie meet at half court. McKenzie picks up the foul. And that's his 5th. He's done for the night.
And unlucky from McKenzie, but I think that's the one there, as you see, Greta not agreeing with something, but I think that one there, McKenzie's heating up Ball. I think that's the one, if you're the Otago Nuggets, you've got to try and get a run and jump or a trap or something, because too much time is ticking off the clock for them to just dribble over halfway with a 7-point deficit.
Just the 4th team foul here for the Nuggets with 39 seconds to go. 3-score game, 83-76. Quick foul there, and Jeter will go to the line. Chase Jeter at the line tonight, 3 of 4. 4 of 14 from the floor, 11 points for Chase Jeter, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks, 6 turnovers. Chase Jeter, he's made an impact, and he's finally arrived for the Hawks to step out on the floor after being injured. And he's made a difference along with Jeremy McLaughlin. That just helps. McLaughlin's a big body, but you've got two guys who create a lot of gravity down low, in Jeter and McLaughlin, and that just has opened the game up.
Yeah, absolutely. I think having that high-low action has been super effective, but just having that presence, the Hawke's Bay Hawks have not had that. So having those two together, this Hawks team's for real.
Rusbatch. Oh, behind the back.
Why not?
Paese. Ethan Rusbatch. You just love it. Couldn't get it to go down, and that might just do it. The Hawke's Bay Hawks are going to get their first win here with 26 seconds to go. They walk all the way to the line. And Jackson Ball will shoot 2, and he can put a lid on this game.
And I think they can take a lot out of that too, because as you see, Jackson Ball with the first one, shooting 26% from 3. And this is a team that doesn't mind getting some threes up. So it hasn't still been the best shooting night for the Hawke's Bay Hawks, but still able to grind out a win against a near top of the table Otago Nuggets team.
Tracy McGrady is not walking through that door for the Nuggets. They're not going to get 10 points, 11 points in 25 seconds or 13 points in 30-odd seconds like he did against the Spurs, Tracy McGrady. That is a 10-point lead for the Hawks. Timeout, Otago. And that's back-to-back defeats for the Nuggets. The Rams, unless there's a miracle, will stay top of the South NBL heading into tomorrow's doubleheader.
Yeah, I mean, the Otago Nuggets, they definitely have moments throughout this game. They didn't start strong, but came out in that second quarter and the third quarter too, up the defensive intensity, looked to attack, started to get downhill, but ultimately it came down to, I think, that McLaughlin Jeter high-low being so effective, and in particular, McLaughlin.
Especially that 8-0 run to open the fourth quarter up. That really just blew the game wide open. Well, not wide open, but it really gave them an opportunity to keep the Nuggets at arm's length.
Yeah, I think especially because the three-pointer wasn't dropping so much for the Hawke's Bay Hawks, and then all of a sudden you have back-to-back threes with the layup, and all of a sudden that game started to blow out. The Nuggets just haven't quite been able to pull back since.
They went on a 10-0 run, if you want to be precise. They had the biggest lead was 13. And a 10-point lead now. It's going to be challenged here as the Nuggets need to get going quickly. Touch. High off the glass on the reverse, that's nice. And timeout, Will Lopez. It's good coaching from Will Lopez. Both teams had their BNZ player timeouts as well, by the way, which makes things a little bit interesting. But good poised timeout from the Hawke's Bay Hawks here with 16.3 to go.
Yeah, and a great move there from Touch, able to get up and under. But yeah, like you say, great poise, able to advance the ball, still with the BNZ player timeout left in case we have some Tracy McGrady-like behaviour. But again, that's going to be a hard task for the Otago Nuggets without possession of the ball right now.
I mean, it's a reference that is a little bit dated, but I saw it in my algorithm the other day. And it's one of the great moments.
It is timeless.
It is. It's unbelievable. I mean, that was a great Spurs team in the playoffs as well.
Yes.
He did that against. That is a composed, veteran Spurs team he did it against.
Yep, and then the Tim Duncan and one, that final turnover, man, the amount of times I've watched that clip too, Miles, it is an absolute doozy.
You're between games here in the South NBL triple header on a Saturday. Check it out on YouTube and just treat yourself to some magic. Basketball magic by Tracy McGrady. He's playing for the Rockets, not for the Magic.
Yep, no, it was, man, what an outing. The celebration too, to boot, elite.
Bump to 18 seconds. Hawks advance the ball. Jackson Ball trying to say that he was shooting. But he'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2, not 3 at the Chemist Warehouse line.
The vet move by the
18-year-old.
Yeah, I was about to say, how old is he again?
He's 18.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, we haven't mentioned that in the fourth.
No, exactly. You got to get at least 2 1/4.
Makes the first. This is a good win for the Hawks here. They've really, there's something about it, and I guess leading into this one, when you saw that Chase Jeter was available, it means that they can start really stringing it. It just helps with the depth, the rotation. The next game is the 17th of May against the Giants. And this is a tough stretch coming up for Hawke's Bay. They've got the Giants, the Bulls, the Saints, the Phi all away for the remainder of May.
Yeah, a tough schedule, but like we said, you get that first win and then things can all of a sudden start rolling. But again, the league is so clustered right now that, you know, any game's a tough game.
Rusbatch sticks along too. And the BNZ player timeout is called with 12.9 to go.
It gives the Hawke's Bay Hawks that chance to advance the Bulls. We see there, scan the QR code for your ticket to the big game, your chance to win tickets to this season's games. But yeah, a great chance for Hawke's Bay to get the ball in. I think 2 more free throws, extend that again to a 10-point lead. And then Hawke's Bay walking away with their first win of the season.
And Louis commits the foul. Points for and against count, people. And you must be wondering why they're fouling here, but the Nuggets trying to close the advantage here, because Rapid League points for and against count for the Sal's NBL ladder, and they have decided playoff chances in previous seasons, so the points percentage really does count and it matters, and that's why the Nuggets are fouling here.
Yeah, can confirm. Absolutely. It's one of those things that you need to make sure that you stay on top of as the season progresses.
Louis try and get a nice bucket and pass to Hen, and they do. Want to get a steal. To Payasset with 3 seconds to go, commits the foul. Their run coming up, next 5 for the Otago Nuggets will be the Tuatara, the Giants away, the Sharks and the Bulls at home. Tuatara's at home, by the way. And the Saints. There's no easy game in the Sal's NBL as Rasmussen heads to the line.
No, absolutely not. And for the Otago Nuggets, that's a wee 2-game slide now. So even though they've had a great start to the season, it's one of those things they're going to have to get back down the deep south, regroup, and then look to push forward again.
Nuggets dropped to 3rd on the ladder with this loss. Dropped to 4 and 2. Tuatara play tomorrow. They play your old team, the Giants. They're 2nd on the ladder. Canterbury Rams stay top. And that'll do us. The Otago Nuggets go down on the road to the Hawke's Bay Hawks to get their first win of the season. They win 91-82.
What a performance from the Hawke's Bay Hawks. You know, always it's hard when you have such a slow start to the season, but able to bounce back, and that will feel incredible over in the Bay right now.
Certainly will. 91 points. That's a good effort from the Hawks, because that's a tough defensive team that they've played. And the Otago Nuggets, and smiles all round. None bigger than Kane Hokianga's as well. And they can finally feel good about themselves. They got tough road games coming up, but it's always good to get one on the board.
Oh, absolutely, Miles, especially after a wee slide. And you see right there, it's like the weight of the world's off their shoulders. Smiles galore, hugs galore, you know. And it's like anything. You get one win, all of a sudden things can start rolling. So even though this Hawke's Bay Hawks team has got some catching up to do, best believe they'll be about it.
Chase Jeter, first game as a Hawk, was one of the difference makers, coming in from a calf injury as well. He had a big say. 29 minutes is probably the best stat you're going to see at the moment for Chase Jeter's first game as a Hawk. 12 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks. And those are your points leaders for both teams.
Yeah, McLaughlin was incredible, really. Able to show that left-hand touch just every time the Hawks needed a bucket, he was right there in the mix.
10 of 13.
Yeah, that's a heck of a percentage. You know, he really fronts it up. And then with Rasmussen greeted too. But yeah, Jackson Bull, incredible job for, again, the 18-year-old coming in down the stretch, hitting those pocket passes. And then those rebounds, Dan Greeder, heart over height any day of the week.
Rasmussen as well, 10 boards for him. That's fantastic. And we go through the blocks here. Chase Jeter, 3 blocks. And that's how it looks for the Hawke's Bay Hawks and the Otago Nuggets. And it's a big win for the Hawks. And on behalf of Tom Ingham and the Sky Sport crew, we bid you good night. Thanks so much for watching. And enjoy the rest of round 5 of the NZNBL on Sky Sport.